Oh, tomorrow is the day. And you know, there's going to be a lot. This is going to be one of the most intense seasons for so many different reasons. We're going to be looking at this season at so many different levels this year. It's crazy. This season is. Let me just talk about it. John Lynch ranks 11th in an NFL GM rankings, and he is at the bottom of the NFC West almost. All right. So for the Niners, the 2021 season is looking like a crossroad into the future. Next season's roster moves and shifts are now officially inevitable. Also, the season-ending results could be pivotal towards the future of the top of the organizational chain, which does indeed include John Lynch and company. So tonight on this eve of training camp 2021, we'll be going to the phones for your opinion on the job 49ers GM John Lynch has done since his appointment in 2017. Also, 49ers made a few moves. They signed, we knew Ambry Thomas was going to get signed. I don't know why that was new news today. He's going to get his 4-year deal. Also, the 49ers did, they released Deshaun Hall, and they worked out defensive line Anthony Zettel. Haven't we had him before? And Trey Lance remains unsigned. Now, I didn't see this one coming. I thought by now. In fact, I predicted Friday night. I said, he'll be signed by late night. No. What could be the holdup on that, huh? I haven't heard anything about Zach. The guys that have been holding out are pretty much still waiting. I don't know what they're waiting for, but we'll find out later. Let's get into this. So now, depending upon how seriously you take any sports network when it comes to judgments of NFL personnel, is all the weight that this particular evaluation of Niners GM John Lynch. But it makes you wonder how widespread these nasty sentiments are. I mean, being ranked 11th ain't the worst thing in the world. I mean, but you know, hey, I don't know. NBC Sports Edges, the name of the show is Edges. Patrick Daugherty ranked each general manager in the NFL and ranked 49ers GM John Lynch 11th overall and 3rd NFC West, just ahead of the pathetic Steve Keim, Cardinals, who ranks at number 21. Steve, you talk about a guy on his way out. Actually, he should have been gone a long time ago. But anyway, there was some truths in Daugherty's rant, along with some commentary that would be seen. I mean, it's a little bit over the top. He got carried away, but they do that for, impact. When you're reading something, you need that splash factor. Like, whoa, what? He has a few of those, but this article was written up without acknowledging Fred Warner's contract extension to start with. We would need to hear from more of the national media members' feelings about Warner's deal before taking Daugherty too seriously anyway. But he races and ignores one of the most difficult parts of the field to defend. Come on, Daugherty. Fred is a no-brainer blue-chip ball player, was pure excellence at that athletically, but also wins with his mind. There ain't that many of those kind in the NFL. When you look at the way Warner's contract is set up, Parag Marath kept Warner's cap number under $4 million for 2021. Pure, genius, right? Lynch and the 49ers front office deserves kudos on that achievement, period. You keep Fred Warner happy. He's motivated. He's going to get paid. He doesn't feel like he's going to have to worry about his body. He can go out there and do what he does. Do the Fred Warner, right? And here's what Daugherty had to say about Lynch. And with that 11th ranking, he says, John Lynch 49ers, as is the case with most hotshot coaches, it can be hard to tell where Kyle Shanahan ends and his general manager begins. Handpicked by Shanahan, we know it's not John Lynch making the final call on matters of receiving and quarterbacking. It might not even be Lynch on defense, where he was a Hall of Fame player. It is Lynch's job to accommodate his coach. What are you saying, dude? Are you saying that Lynch is just nothing more than Shanny's yes man? He has done so as the duo has slapped together a championship caliber defensive core, which that's using right in the feet. It is on Shanahan's side of the ball where the front office has floundered, putting too many eggs in the Jimmy Garoppolo basket while failing to find enduring solutions in the backfield or receiver core. Injuries have played a part, especially at wideout. Deebo Samuel could still end up forming one of the league's better 1-2 punches with Brandon Ayuk as George Kittle dominates the seam. The Garoppolo matter has also been settled with Shanny's biggest bet, FCS quarterback Trey Lance. Lance's lone appearance since the end of the 2019 season was on October 2020, exhibition against Central Arkansas, whereas Garoppolo was a safe bet that failed. Lance is swinging for the fences. A front office partnership that has thus far gotten by on alibis and one 13-3 campaign is officially on the spot. If Lance fails, Shanahan and his personal chef, his general manager, may no longer be allowed to pick the ingredients. Oh, don't you love those kind of things being said? Everyone is aware that Shanahan handpicked Lynch and that he also has a final say on the team's roster. Daugherty paints a picture like Lynch has zero say and is nothing more than a mouthpiece. Lynch doesn't have as much power as Shanahan. And Daugherty continues by saying, anyway, there's no doubt it's the offensive side of the ball that hasn't held up their end of the bargain, and that has to fall on kid Shanahan. Gotta love this guy's writing style. Daugherty points out you couldn't script what felt like weekly injuries, playing with backups at the most vital positions in Shanahan's O. From center to quarterback is ultimately what's done the offense in. But hey, pointing fingers at Lynch-Shanahan for missing on their early round picks during the first couple of years, ignoring some of the late round gems that are current starters. Mr. DAUGH, and there's other letters to be followed, as well as a recent influx of talent that seems has been drafted with the team's early round picks. Many teams would take the trade-offs and hits and misses in both the draft and free agency. That aggressiveness and big picture mentality have netted the 49ers one of the strongest rosters in the NFL. And that's before we know how good Trey Lance will be or how much he'll make Brandon Ayuk or Deebo more of a threat than they already are. You would also credit the front office for taking swings as they did with the Lance trade. They deserve just as much praise for admitting when certain draft picks or free agent signings didn't work. As a 49ers fan, and as 49ers fans, wouldn't you rather root for them with the Lynch-Shanahan mentality as opposed to an organization that sits on their hands and just hopes things will improve year after year? See, because there are a lot of those out there. We need to get into those people still. Jimmy G is still on the roster because Shanahan has evidence he can win games with them. The record shows it. That's just all there is to that. A lot of football games. But unfortunately, last year was the last straw as far as injuries go, which is why the team doesn't have to have a first-round pick for the next 2 years. Daugherty is fair to criticize the Niners if Lance doesn't work out. This is a thing that's been assumed that is not necessarily official. It's got to wait till it shows up on the field. He's 6'4", 225 pounds, has a rocket arm with a good pocket presence, and so happens to run a 4.5 40-yard shot. These are the kind of guys, though, no matter what, it has to be seen as a good move. These are the guys you have to bet on, period. That's all there is to it, because there's nothing else out there better as far as you look at the aesthetics of it. But Jed York wouldn't have much of a choice. This is why I say we're at a crossroad, fam, that could extend into next year. But York wouldn't have much of a choice to move on from this group if Lance doesn't pan out. What Daugherty fails to mention is the talent around Lance. The Niners are likely to field the top 7-ish offensive line, defense, and skill positions groups in the NFL with Shanahan calling the plays. That's a good combination. So we can go a bit out on a limb and say Lance will be fine. I'll take Shanahan-Lynch consistency to land higher in these front office rankings. Yeah, you got to do it. You got to. And you know how hardcore of a Jimmy fan I am. But this last move is probably one that makes sense for a number of reasons other than just ridiculing Jimmy G. Jimmy, if he does have a good year, it's compounding the fact that you can't really keep him because now he becomes too expensive. We can't afford Jimmy G to leave free, and we can't afford him if he goes to Super Bowl next year. He now becomes ahead of Dak Prescott and some others that are getting $40 million a year, and that's what his agent's going to demand, no matter what anybody says. We know there's talent on the roster, and we've seen what happens when it's healthy. String together consecutive winning seasons, and you'll crack the top 10. Question tonight, though, fam, John Lynch. You need to be up around 5 if we do well this year. Question tonight, though, fam, is John Lynch only 11th in the NFL? True or false in your mind? And explain your feeling on that. Is Lynch number 3 in the NFC West only better than Kime because of the fact, you actually, it's hard to defend that, right? The Rams are in the playoffs every season, just about. I think they missed one in the last since McVay's been there. Pete Carroll and whoever's, I mean, they're they've been up at the top. So, you really put Lynch in ahead of those folks, and I understand that. But I want to look at some of the other variables involved and some of the things, the shortcomings, the fact that in the beginning they came in with nothing but an empty space to try to fill up and build up. So agree or disagree. We would just love to share what you have to say about that matter. Danny Albright says, "Hey, I've been watching your show since early 2019. Much appreciated, much love." Danny, thank you, fam. Ricky, Ronbo Sports and the San Francisco 49ers still the number one franchise in all the land. All the land? Question mark. All the land. I love that. Ricky, I got to always acknowledge you. Thanks, fam. Keyron Penner, Ronbo, what up? Go Niners! Oh, and Ray Jr. says, "Hey, this topic will always be remembered as what in the world the hate for the Niners will never end." I know. This has been going on for decades. Matty S., he's out in beautiful Bend, Oregon. What's up, Matty? Get on the phone real quick because I'm rolling in late again. It'll stop, though. As soon as the season starts, I guarantee you that. It's back tomorrow. Eric, come on in here and tell us about how you feel about your GM.
Well, I mean, as far as the rating where he's third, right? I think it's fair to put him third as of right now, but like in terms of a team's future, I think he's number 1. I mean, what he's built so far, I think it's better than what the Rams have built. I mean, the Rams right now are the Rams right now are a win now team. As soon as their cap starts falling apart and stuff, they're gone. Yep. And Seattle is slowly decaying, and then there's obviously Arizona, but Arizona is never going to go anywhere with that stupid coach. So
and Kime. Let me ask you a question on that though. Is it that the players, the managers, the guys on the field, you see the Hawks are competitive every year. We're seeing that the Rams are involved since McVay got there every year. What do you attribute that to? Is that more of what's going on the field? Does the GM have a whole lot to do with that? He's making deals and transactions. I understand that. But when I look at the Hawks, they're not making a lot of sensible deals. And right now, Adams, they're not close to making a deal for him. They don't get any blemishes on their records like we do. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of both. It's both coaching and it's both the players on the field. I mean, I feel like if the Seattle Seahawks didn't have Russell Wilson, we'd be talking completely differently. I mean, that team is basically nothing without Russell. I mean, although they have the pieces in place to put a different quarterback in and maybe they succeed, but Russell is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, maybe top 5 at least.
I mean, he's in the MVP conversation every year. So
so it's stuff like that. But then with LA, I think it's more coaching. LA has some good coaches over there. I know they had was it Dan Phillips? Is that his name? The defensive coordinator? It's some old guy. I forgot his name.
It slips me right now. But yeah, they started with him, and that's when they run to the 3-4.
And then they have Sean McVay. Yeah, they have Sean McVay, and obviously he's going to be really good. I mean, they had Goff for a couple. I mean, like all these years. The fact that you can win with someone like Goff is pretty impressive, and especially Goff's record and his stats. I mean, I believe he was up there in the yardage like almost every year. So it's a bit of both. We already know what type of player Goff is. It's not like he's like top 10 or anything. It's a bit of both. And
Well,
I
he's
think
got some great
for
wide receivers. He started off with Gurley as a running back. Gurley was awesome. And like you said, they're building for now and today. And I think the league looks upon that as being a huge plus. If you run all risk, you just don't care. You throw caution to the wind. We can't pay him. Forget about it. Bring him in here. That's the way the Rams think. That is going to end up sending him into the dark ages very shortly. But right now, it looks good, and that would probably attribute a lot to their current status as far as the GM goes.
And I think for us, it's a bit of both. I mean, we look to the future and we look to now. We don't really think that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan make a lot of deals, but when we really need something, they're on it. Like in 2019, when we needed a wide receiver, they immediately got Emmanuel Sanders. And then right when Joe Staley retired, they got Trent Williams. They ponied up, they put their big boy pants on, and they made a trade. And it's like something like Trent Williams, where we lost Joe Staley. It's a big thing. It's not like you can just slide that off. You literally pulled off another Hall of Fame left tackle in a matter of hours.
With a Hall of Fame
that's
move.
a big deal. Yeah, exactly. And what did we get for? What did we trade away for Trent Williams? Like a third-round pick?
I believe so. The third-round pick was that as high as we went on that? And did we give away 2 picks or just 1?
I believe it was 2, but I think the highest we went was third.
It was 3, and that's robbing the bank, all right? Trent Williams. I mean, come on.
So they know when to make moves, and obviously this Trey Lance thing was their first big move, like I think they've ever done. So, and obviously it was for the future. It wasn't for now. It's for the future. And obviously, when even if Jimmy is here, all year, Trey Lance, I think he's coming in next year. If anything, I don't think Jimmy's going to be here another season. I think this is his last. But obviously, he thought for the future, and I think our management is the best in the division.
Agreed. Yeah, no argument for me. And also, you look at in the context of, if I'm thinking ahead, I'm actually protecting the franchise more so than I am, because if things go south, in Pete Carroll, I don't know. Pete Carroll could be there for another 20 years. I have no idea, because it's amazing how he manages to get that team. I got to give Carroll credit. I think give Carroll credit even more than I would the GM. But in L.A., I could see that crashing and burning sometime real soon, actually. Stafford's how old?
I don't know, but he's in his mid-30s, I think.
Yeah, so you figure you got 2 to 3 seasons max from him. I don't know how well he takes care of himself. Maybe he does a TB12 plan or something like that. I don't know. But the thing is, then they're going to have to think about drafting a quarterback sometime really soon. That is always the defining line between a good GM, a fair GM, and a mediocre GM. You got to pick the right guy to go into the future with. And we think Trey Lance is ours. And the Rams aren't looking at any quarterbacks. They went and got Stafford and paid everything they could, got rid of a couple of first-round picks. Well, okay, let's see how that works out. You haven't got any first-round picks for how long? That's not a good thing. And we're going to do it in the next 2 years, but we still got the framework to continue to grow.
Yeah, and what if Stafford gets hurt? What do they have behind them?
They got that kid that almost got killed in the playoffs last year, I think.
There's nothing there. It's basically they're screwed. Yeah. There's nothing they can do.
There you go.
So,
Eric, I love that defense of our guy.
I think for us.
Yeah, we need to stop there. Eric, I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
Right.
Probably be back tomorrow. We open camp tomorrow. Eric, we'll be back tomorrow. All right. No, I can't. Wait.
All right,
Wait. Good night, Eric. Good stuff too.
All right, let's get it. Go Niners.
Thanks, man. Eric. I love calling Phil in on issues like this. Chill, Phil, talk about it.
Hey, Ronbo.
Hey.
First of all, you looked at NBC. Doesn't Florio work for NBC?
Yeah.
He probably had input.
Yeah. This is why I said this is something you want to get a national conversation on.
If you looked at the sporting news, they had Lynch ranked first. So, and they based it on drafting, free agents, and contracts. Les Snead is a dumpster fire waiting to happen. All right, next year it starts. Okay, there's $7 million next year over the cap, and they've already renegotiated all of their big money contracts and pushed them out.
Yeah.
So they're in trouble. They're in big time trouble. They got to win now, and then they're going to retire, and then they're going to watch the Rams go to last place purgatory for the rest of the next decade.
And they know that, don't they? That is just
they know that.
Strange.
And the owner let it happen because he has a new stadium. He wants to win a Super Bowl. So, I mean, it's just out of control down there. It really is. And then Arizona, they're just horrible. I mean, their last 2 first-round picks have been pretty much busts. Kyler Murray, he's okay. But this last first-round pick they have is probably going to be a bust also. Like a big linebacker that's going to be have problems out there in coverage.
The George Kittle stopper, right?
Yeah, well, he's not going to stop George. He's not going to be able to run with George. Anyway, but I look at John Lynch and I think the Trent Williams deal never would have happened if Kyle was pulling the strings. Okay, because there's no way that Washington's owner would have dealt with Kyle Shanahan. There's no way. It was John Lynch, and John Lynch gave a call, and everybody likes John Lynch. So John Lynch is the face guy to do deals because people like him. He's well respected in the league, and I think John doesn't get credit because everybody thinks Kyle pulls all the strings, but I think John does a lot of the deals. He just says, "Kyle, do you want this guy?" And then John goes and makes it happen. And that's the way it should be.
That's exactly right.
Otherwise, do you think Pete Carroll doesn't have any say in what's going on in Seattle?
Absolutely.
Or McVay doesn't have any say that goes on in the Rams? Right. Come on.
That's right. Trent Baalke football does not work.
Here.
That's right.
And you know what? We only had 4 guys that remained on the roster after Tonsula left. 4 guys. Jimmy Ward, Eric Olmstead, Buckner, Staley. That's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else. And they had to revamp that whole roster.
That's right.
From scratch, basically. And then the first year, they had, Solomon Thomas and Rubin, and those turned out to be mistakes. We all thought, he was going to be a good linebacker, but he just had the wrong head on his shoulders. And, as far as Solomon Thomas goes, he played a lot of downs. He never really got injured until his last year. But he wasn't a, third-round potential guy. But they did make some draft choices like Kittle and Fred and, some other guys that make up for some of the mistakes in that first draft that they ever had. So, I can think of 3 guys, Rubin, Solomon, and Pettis. And Pettis really had a good year his rookie year. But he just had no dog in him. So I think
his mind isn't into it. Pettis just doesn't. He doesn't really want to play football. He can play.
Those are the kinds of things that you really can't tell from just an interview, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know. So I think John Lynch is right up there. We got Jimmy for a bag of balls for a starting quarterback. That's good.
Yeah.
Trent Williams for a 3rd-round pick. Hello.
Yeah.
And he always makes moves on draft day. He's always moving around. We got Ayuk. He moved up to get Ayuk. And I think Ayuk's going to be a star.
Yeah.
And the other thing is we've got all our young players tied up for years. And our stars.
Yeah.
Kittle.
Yeah.
Fred. Bose is going to be tied up for sure.
Oh.
Trent Williams.
Keys to the city.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
they
Dottie's
went out
talking
and got
about.
Ustek. Ustek's a 5-time Pro Bowler on the Niners. So they went out and got him as a free
this
agent.
year too, and he didn't. We kept him.
Yeah, but he wanted to stay. That's another thing. Players like the 49ers
Yes,
management.
indeed. Yes.
And so it makes for a good locker room. Players want to play here. It's quite a difference than when we were back in Tom Sula
Trent Baalke.
days. Baalke. Nobody wanted to play for that guy.
Every year.
So we have a short memory of how bad it really was.
Oh, so many do. We've got some of us have gotten spoiled, But you know what? It's fine because things are coming into a clear picture coming up. We'll see what happens between now and next year.
And I tell you what, John Lynch comes out to the parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, the last game of the season, last home game.
Yeah.
He comes out and hands out, gear to the fans.
Yeah.
He's engaged with the fans.
Sure.
And I think he's an ambassador to the 49ers that is really good. So,
Phil, could you imagine?
Anyway,
could you imagine Trent Baalke coming out to you're out there, in front of your?
Oh, they kill him. They'd be hanging.
Hey, ain't that Trent? That's Trent Baalke. Get him!
Yeah. Bro. Oh man.
That would have been hilarious.
We hated that guy.
Oh God.
But anyway.
Yeah, so I don't think that the 49ers,
So anyway,
49er fans aren't going to get on John.
I think we're in good hands, and we're financially good, and we've got a rookie quarterback going to come in. I think he's going to make it if he signs a contract.
Yeah, right.
He's got to sign it by Wednesday,
I know,
or else he can't come to practice.
He cannot. That's right.
So,
it's
and
amazing.
if he doesn't show up for practice, I think he's not going to start week one. That's for sure. If he misses a day of practice,
he can't miss practice.
So
he's got so much he's got to learn.
That's a pet peeve. That's a pet peeve with Kyle.
Yeah.
If he misses it over a technicality, then Jimmy's got the job.
Yeah. So, and it's going to be hard enough taking it as it is. So with that added, that would be tough. Phil, I did
see one last thing. I did see an interview with Ustek, and he said, we know with a rookie quarterback they've never won a Super Bowl, and we're going to support whoever starts. But it sounded like he was backing Jimmy.
Yeah,
he knows they can win with him.
George Kittle's throwing digs out there about who he's favoring. We're going to find out. And in fact, it'll be nice to put all this madness to bed in the next 2 or 3 weeks anyway. So we can just move on, focus on the season.
All right, Ronbo, but we're real close to practice time and start seeing tape on guys. So.
Yes, indeed.
I'm ready.
All right, Phil.
All right,
we're going to see you tomorrow. The reporter's going to be out there tomorrow, I think. So we'll see you tomorrow. All right, Phil. Night, Phil.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. It's always that football guys like Phil, man. I tell you, hey, Ricky.
Ronbo.
Ricky, man, we're in here trying to get people up off of John, man. He's NBC Sports, and that's why I enjoyed it was NBC Sports because they ain't got no love. Mike Floyle's over there telling people, if you say anything good about the 49ers, don't speak to me again. So Doherty, he writes up a little review on the 49ers, making it look like John Lynch is nothing more than Kyle's yes man. And Ricky, is John Lynch? Do you appreciate him as far as from 2017 till now?
Ronbo, I'm the faithful one, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
I remember when Kyle and John, before they came in, we had 2 wins. 2 wins total.
In the future,
and now, in this year, we're going to have 2 losses, Ronbo. Ronbo, we're going 15-2.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it is. We're going 15-2. He done reversed the whole thing. We're going 15-2. And let's take a walk back through memory lane for everybody who don't know. We signed Kittle, got him the highest paid contract in his position, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was before last year. And then we the abysmal stuff happened with all the injuries, and everyone's worried, what's going to happen? And And what does John Lynch and Kyle do? Who do they re-sign first, Ronbo? Trent Williams. Once that shoe drops, everybody's like, oh no, I don't believe how they can sign him. They're not gonna be able to sign nobody else.
And Ricky,
okay, what they do?
He was in Kansas City making phone calls back to San Francisco saying, hey, look, looks like they're getting ready to make some moves here in a minute. I'm just letting you know what's going on. How much do you love a place where you work when you call the general manager that's in the competition to get your services to let you know what's going on, giving you a blow-by-blow report? I mean, John Lynch is getting big love, man. Come on.
And that's only because the communication and the love that they had, for the organization and each other, because he could have just kept it under wraps and kept it moving, So he's like, okay, they're going to do this. This is what they're talking about. Can you match it? Oh, yeah, we're going to match it and then top it.
Nobody does that.
And so after no, because nobody's faithful no more, Ronbo. There's only a select few that are faithful anymore. So what happens after that, Ronbo? They're like, oh no, they didn't sign Trent Williams. They have no more money to do nothing else. And what happens, Ronbo? They signed everybody else. Everybody else.
And no hesitation. One day after another, he signed. Everybody's signed.
Yeah, minus Sherman, of course. But look, and then we jumped up to get Trey and LeBay. And that's going to be our future. I got big expectations for him. I feel like him and IU going to be like the new school Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. But that's for another conversation.
Wouldn't that be special?
So after they do that, they brought back everybody, Ronbo, and then look what they draft. They draft a list. Like this draft pick has been like the less injured players that we ever had drafted. So they've learned from the mistakes and they've adjusted and made corrections for it. And man, the draft pick that we have is awesome, Ronbo. Between our quarterback room, our running back room, our wide receiver room, no matter who we hating on, whoever, man, we're deep, Ronbo. Our O-line is set. Our D-line is set. Our cornerbacks are set. No matter how much people hate, man, we're in there, Ronbo. We're there. So how can you hate on that? How can you hate on that? If you were faithful, how can you hate on that?
We got, what the 49ers do, Ricky, is we provide that with a lightning rod for throwing poo-poo on, through the social media circles and the national coverage. Analysts love to say, the 49ers are still this and they're still that, but they're not this and they're not that. I said, you guys, why don't you guys work on the Jets sometimes, man? They ain't doing nothing. How about Detroit? You know why? Because we do look like that team that's going to bust out and do something special. And so you got to talk about, you can't talk about teams that ain't going to do nothing, So that's why we got to get beat up by the media all the time.
And that's what we're going to prove all wrong, Ronbo. We're going to prove everybody wrong. And we're going to prove John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy G, Brandon Ayuk, D Ford, and Ronbo Sports. We're going to prove them all right.
Put me in that same sense.
Because that's the faithful is a special word, Ronbo. People may not understand, but faithful and loyalty run hand in hand.
That's right.
They really run hand in hand. You can't understand faithful until you understand loyalty. So you are someone that understands the game. You understand the faithful. You understand the loyalty, Ronbo. And I know you can feel it like I can feel it, Ronbo. This is it.
Thanks, Rick.
Ronbo, we're going to win the Super Bowl. This is 6. This is 6 coming up. And you know it, and I know it.
I agree.
We know.
I argued. I didn't argue against it, but I must admit, I wondered about 2019, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, we were in the Super Bowl with only minutes to go before winning it. So I ain't never, ever denying that the 49ers are Super Bowl bound. Ever. I mean, unless the season just, that we ain't got no talent to do get there with. But otherwise, and you know this team's got Super Bowl written all over it. Sure they do.
You already know. Yes. And I missed the conversation. You know, I check out your show, but I haven't been. I had some stuff I had to take care of. But man,
Life
as far
happens.
as like 19 and this year, Ronbo, we got chemistry this year, and we got the same players, Ronbo.
Yes, continuity.
How can we lose?
Yes.
Who Ronbo, who got it better than us?
Nobody! Hey, I'm talking
Ronbo.
move fast. We know what we're doing.
And who runs it, Ronbo? Who runs it, Ronbo? Tell me, please, who runs it?
Niners!
One time.
All day.
Goddamn right. That's right. That's why.
Don't get me getting crazy in there now.
Like it is. You want to tell it like it is, Ronbo? You want to tell it like it is?
Well, Rick, let's get
man,
ready for
I know
tomorrow.
we got to go.
Because you know what? The analysts are going to be out there tomorrow. Well, I got to be taking reports, telling us what's going on. See who's in shape and came back ready. So I'll be looking for you tomorrow, all right?
It's popping tomorrow? It's popping tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow, Ronbo. Shout out to you.
Thanks, Rick.
Shout out to all the faithful, everybody. Stop what y'all doing and hit them likes. Hit them likes. We out of here. Shout out from Texas, baby.
Thank you, Ricky. And in Texas at that. Ricky Blacks, you are hardcore. Anybody in Texas that's walking around rooting for the 49ers and supporting them in front of them Texans, boy, I got mad love for you and respect. Whoo, that's tough. Ricky, have a great night, fam. Yeah, because I always wonder, because Dallas Cowboy fans, man, them boys is all over the place. You never hear about Texans fans. It's all about Dallas. Marion!
What's up, man? What's going on? How you doing?
Oh, Marion, man, we sit back here, man. We looking at John Lynch by NBC Sports, slapping him down to number 11 in the third best NFC West. You know what? Honestly, you at the moment, at this hour, if you don't look into it deeply, you have to put John Lynch at number 3. But number 11 in the NFL, and I guess that would constitute the third ranking in NFC West, so you can't really go any higher than that. He should have broke double digit, though. But, man, I don't know, man. How do you feel about it?
I don't know about number 3. Yeah, maybe 3 or 4. Cause I mean, it's some bad. Y'all don't like to talk about it, but it be some bad players be getting drafted. I don't know what that. Like, for example, we didn't draft a receiver this year, which I don't understand. So I'm still, man.
I know. I feel you. I've been crying about that for 2 years. But we got Ayuk last year into the draft. So, and matter of fact, Barrett, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, my guy, Henry Ruggs, and who was the other guy, the route runner that was so good from Bama?
It was about to get
What?
cut.
Ruggs.
Ruggs about to get cut. I don't know if you heard about
so?
that, but that's the word on the street. Somebody about to get traded. That's the word on the street.
Ayuk is not about to get cut, so we got the best deal there. I only liked Ruggs because of his speed. But okay, there was another guy that ran routes really good too. Anyway, it's looking now like it's between CD and Brandon, because I didn't hear about this other guy. So,
You talking about Jefferson from LSU? That's what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the
The other
Bama.
receiver.
The Bama had another guy that just they say his name. When you look up the term route runner, his face was supposed to be next to it. Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Ricky? Jerry. Yeah. Judy. Yeah, Judy went to he ended up in Denver, right? Huh. So there was a threesome that everybody was talking about. But you're right. The kid over in with the Vikings, who saw that coming? Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. I saw it, but nobody else see it. Yeah, but Judy and they had Ruggs in 2019. Actually, the receiving core this year is better than the one they had in 2019. To be honest with you, so. But we didn't get none of those guys anyway. But I mean, John Lynch is okay. He's better than Terry Donahue and Trent Baalke. So he all right. He cool. He cool. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen Trent Baalke yet. I'm still waiting to see him. You know he in my city.
Hey, wait, Trent's over in Jacksonville, right? Okay, we got to wait to see it.
Yep. And when the 49ers come here on November 21st, I'm going to go find Trent Baalke and I'm going to slap him.
You will have slapped him on behalf of millions.
He going to be somewhere in there. I'm going to find him. But, I mean, you know, but John York have done pretty good. I think, though, I'm sorry, not John York. Oh, my bad. John Lynch have done pretty good. But this third pick with Trey Lance, man, that's going to set the tone. And either way, if it goes good, you know, they look like the Genius. But if it goes bad,
make it a raise.
Hey, something got to happen. So we just got to see, man. Got to be ready. I mean, the season is on our ass right now as we speak. I mean, you wake up, it'll be game day soon.
That's a scary thought, too. Trey has got to work out. You know what you're looking at? We're looking at a change of regime. The new people are going to want to come in and get their own personnel. They're going to start getting rid of all our people that aren't on long, big contracts, or they're going to try to get rid of big contracts. We'll be going through a 2-year darkness period. Again, we'll be walking around with flashlights in the middle of the afternoon trying to find light. You know, that is a scary thought. Trey Lance has to work out.
I don't think it'd be that bad, though. I don't think. I mean, honestly, though, you know, at times I can be negative because I just speak what I see, but I don't think it'd be to that because they're still under contract for another 5 years. So I mean, you know, the Kyle Shanahan variance. I mean, you know, he okay. I ain't gonna give Kyle Shanahan all the credit in the world, but you know, he's going to have to. You know, I think that it'll be a good pick, and I think we'll get to where we need to be when that time comes. Right now, we just need everybody to stay healthy throughout training camp and through the season, which is more important. And if Jalen Hurd get hurt in training camp, his ass need to be out the next day. I'm just telling you how I see. I'm quite sure every 49er on this chat will agree with what I'm saying about Jalen Tennessee Bonnetil Hurd.
So you know, that's every one of us is going to be trembling every day between now and the opening day about practice. Because when you look at keep your eye on your phone like I do for the notifications, and I hear and see a name on there, oh no, oh God, I knew this was going to happen. You know, and then you start going nuts and hysterical and start projecting that tomorrow's going to be worse. And, you know, we went through that last year, man. It was I still pinch myself to wonder, did 2020 really happen? It's 2020 now, right? We didn't that 2020 I dreamed about never took place. It's frightening.
I'm not gonna stay on the path. I mean, your boy Steve Mariucci said that he believed that the 49ers are the best roster in the NFL. You know what I mean? So
top to bottom.
I mean, hey. I mean, you know, we'll see. We shall see. I just need everybody to stay healthy, cut the dead weight, and let's go and take what is ours, and that's the 6th ring. Because I've been waiting on that since 1994. So we just go ahead and take what's ours, man. Yeah. Stop the bull crap.
And get this done. Stop clowning around. Whenever we do hold that trophy up, finally, that's what they're going to be saying, you know. Man, we got to go. I'm going to see tomorrow because practice is going to be raging tomorrow. So we'll see what's going on in the reports tomorrow.
I think it's Wednesday.
Oh, it is
practice,
Wednesday,
right?
Yeah, I thought they was going to start.
I think the open camp.
Tomorrow's the 27th. I guess I thought everybody would be checking in today probably. But tomorrow to check in, we'll see. If they're not, if there's no practice tomorrow,
you're right.
Wait till Wednesday, right? Or Tuesday.
You're right. It's tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. All right, fam. I'll be looking for you tomorrow if that be the case. All right, man. Always good stuff. Appreciate you, fam. Talk to you later.
All right. Take it easy.
Right. You too. Oh, man. Hey, fam, if you get a chance, remind Seahawks Rain about Jimmy Garoppolo. Tell them how they went to the the game that got them beat. Garoppolo beat the Hawks 2 years ago. So that was a playoff game. May as well. The wild card is not where you want to go. So, yeah, there's that. Rod, I see you, Rod. Ronbo. In 3 years of darkness, remember how many first-round picks we gave up? See, that's why we have to succeed. Oh, we have to succeed. Rod, thanks for the contribution. Shabazz!
Ronbo, come on now. What's happening, baby?
Shabazz, man, I'm sitting up here checking out, how we get dirt flung at us. We have become like Moses' people. We led into the promised land, and, because we get whooped on and picked on and slapped, just for being 49ers. The media just loves to beat up on this organization and everybody in it. I read that and I said, why y'all want to do John like this? He does a lot of great things. This team is strong because of how you going to take a team that is probably a Super Bowl contender for the last two seasons for sure, 3 seasons actually,
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, yeah. How you go say the GM is ranking in less than the top 10? But they did, and question marks a lot of things. How do you feel about John?
Oh, man, I love John, first of all. I mean, something ain't nobody even mentioned today. We got Fred Warner re-signed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We got everybody we got re-signed. We had an excellent draft. But the reason why they feel that way, because, Ronbo, we always been, like in high school, the pretty girl got picked on because everybody liked her.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing finer than the 49er, okay? Nobody messing with the ugly girl, okay? Ain't nobody talking about that.
There's no need.
Ain't nobody talking about this, that, and the other. Because really, secretly, they jealous and they're obsessed with us. They don't have the courage to tell anybody that they really 49er fans, okay? Floro, Greg, all these guys, man. We don't care about these clowns. They're clowns, okay? What everybody's been telling you, not just what I've been telling you, is the truth. I'm going to reiterate it to you. He said 15-2. I was thinking maybe 4. I want to lose, like I told you the year we went to the Super Bowl. I told you that week 1 win Tampa. I said, Ronbo, we'll be 13-3. It was my birthday. My dad had just passed away, and we went to the Super Bowl. Yeah. It's okay. It's been a couple years, Shout out to the faithful. They know you. They know me. We good. We need 4 losses. We need 4 losses. And I want Tampa. Listen to what I'm telling you. I want Tampa in the NFC Championship because it's going to be solidified. I don't care if Garoppolo's back there or Trey Lance is back there. We're going to beat Tampa.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And we're going to the Super Bowl because it ain't going to be no asterisk. And then all the naysayers and all the haters are going to be, shut it. Shut your mouth. That's what we're going to do, Ronbo.
Shabazz, you know what?
And they know it.
I like deploying that asterisk because last year, a COVID tore-up season like that last year does need an asterisk. It really does. It makes me feel better to know that the Bucs have an asterisk next to their their trophy.
If it was no different than the NBA, they played in a bubble, so it made it easier for LeBron. This year,
I know, right?
You had to go out. Fans came in. Milwaukee unexpectedly. Didn't nobody think they had what it takes, and they did it, and they won it. Listen, Ronbo, Levi Stadium is going to be shaking. I've been in there when Levi Stadium been shaking. When you can't hear the person next to you. I've been in there. You understand me?
Yes.
Levi Stadium going to be shaking, okay? The NFL already knows it. I want the golden boy. I want the GOAT. I want Tommy at home. NFC Championship. Bring that butt here, boy. Bring it here, boy. You from San Mateo, you right here. Because you're going to think you're going to get you an 8th ring. And guess what? We're going to tap that butt and go to the Super Bowl and win it. And everybody's going to be sick as a dog. You won't be shocked. I won't be shocked. All I'm going to do is call in and Ronbo and say, I told you. As a matter of fact, I already put it on my Twitter and screenshotted it. I just didn't post it, but I'm going to post it later this week. Already got our opponent, but we're going to win 42-17. 49ers, 42,
with the score and
losing
everything.
17. I love it. It can't. Hey, Ronbo, I'm like, you have one of them old grandmothers from down south. Yeah. It came to me in my dreams.
Yeah, I am.
And when it came to me, it said 42-17, 49ers over the other team. I ain't gonna announce who the team is, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna leave y'all hanging. It's a team that's gonna shock you that you ain't gonna think that's there. It's a team that nobody's expecting to be there, and we're gonna beat them 42-17.
I like that.
And the one thing about Twitter, you can go back and check it. And when everybody see it, they're gonna be like, man, hey, you know what y'all gonna be calling me? Swami Shabazz. That's what y'all gonna be calling me. Y'all gonna put Swami in front of my name.
I'm gonna call you Swami Shabazz now.
All right, there it is. There it is, Ronbo. We gonna do that doggone thing, man. We gonna do it, man.
Shabazz.
Yeah, man. They can get. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you get no argument from me, man, because anything we're talking positives and up, I'm on it, you know. Later I'm just keeping it real. Keep that real somewhere else. I want to know about this reel. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I'll take it.
Man, hate's fuel to the fire. Shout out to my boy, Lee, Soul Child. Shout out to my girl, Nita, my people down in Memphis, my man, KK, down up in Mississippi. Those are my people, man. Shout out to all the faithful around the world. Look, relax, baby. You know, and play that old school SOS. It's going to be fun weekends the whole season. Weekend girl, and the Niners is going to be cashing in on receipts. Cashing in on receipts.
Absolutely. Keep copies. And by the way, there is no such thing as an ugly girl. Shabazz was just using that as a metaphor. Every babe is beautiful.
That was a metaphor. That's
yes,
right.
Indeed.
Every babe is beautiful. Every human is beautiful. That's right. Just a metaphor. That's it. But we define a girl because it ain't nothing finer than the 49ers.
Yes.
So we definitely gonna take it, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be so sweet. We'll beat up on hopefully Dallas and Dak in the divisional because that's what I want. And that NFC Championship.
Ooh, I get a rush. Man, please let it beat Dallas. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't mean to be rude, but only if that girl is a She-Hulk. That's She-Hulk. Okay. She's ugly, Ronbo. I'm sorry. Cut me off, dog.
Rod Blaze on his back of a horse and yelling. But you know what? If it's the Cowboys, we'll
run through them first.
It'll take me forever to get over that. Whoa.
Oh, man. It's going to be lovely. And then they're going to have Tommy going to his 8th. The naysayers are going to be there. Oh, Brady's back home. Oh, don't worry about it. Not only is he going to win up in Santa Clara, he's going to take and go out on a ride horse in L.A. He's going to get denied at home.
Because it's Tom. You know what? I said Dallas would be my favorite to whoop in the NFC Championship game. But then I'm going to take, let's call Tampa Bay, Dallas West. I mean East. Yeah, Dallas East, the other side of Texas. Tampa Bay, get them too. I like it. Shabazz, we going to go. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow. And let's see what's going on in practice, all right?
All right, I'll check in with you, Ronbo. If I ain't got to work, I might have to work. But if I ain't got to work, I'll definitely be checking in with you.
All right. Be waiting on you when you do get ready to get in here. Shabazz, I love talking to you, man. All right.
All right, Ronbo.
Have a great night, fam.
You too, fam.
And there he is, John. 49ers Ultimate Report. John Lynch is way better than Trent Baalke. You know, you guys are going to still talk about me years after. And I think that some of you people need to find some forgiveness in your heart. I did the best I could do. And you're still talking. Keep my name out of your mouth. Hey, is that Drew Kirk? Drew, come on in, man.
Sure is, man. What's up?
Drew, man, as 49er fans, I felt it was my obligation to get in and defend John, and I've already done that. Now, Drew, I don't know, how do you feel about John Lynch? And is all the slamming and bamming, the darty of NBC Sports, the edge, was that necessary? How do you feel about that?
Oh, man, before we get to that, though, why is everybody bagging on Trent Baalke? I mean, he just signed Tim Tebow to be his tight end 3. I mean,
go Trent!
Is there not a better move than that on the planet?
So Trentish.
Anyway, yeah, no. So I was listening to national media and everything like that today, and I forget what show it was. It might have been NFL Network or one of those. But they asked, who's the best team in the NFC West and all this stuff, and They listed off all other 3 teams and no mention of the Niners. I think somebody came in at the last second and said, "What about the Niners? They're the deepest team in the NFC West."
What
So
about
an afterthought? Like a side note, right?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, and I have to say that 3 out of the 4 teams in the NFC West has been to the Super Bowl in the last few years, right? Like the Rams, the Seahawks, and us have all been to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So to not have them in the top 10 ranked GMs is like, well, why would you? You're saying that we're the best division, but you're not going to put John. You're just going to put John Lynch outside of the top 10. Right. I don't think so, Mike Florio. I don't think so. God. Your bias is showing, buddy.
Always.
Like I feel bad for Chris Sims because he has to deal with that guy all the time. But
you could tell it bothers him.
He wants to. Yeah, it does because he wants to, back his boy. But Mike's like, no, you can't. I swear to God, I will fire you. I'll have you fired if you say anything positive about the San Francisco 49ers. Do not do it. So, yeah, I think John Lynch is a little bit higher than that. I think he's, if you're ranking him, you look at the Packers, they've been in the NFC Championship the last 2 years, but they couldn't even get their guy in, right? Like he just came in today, but and that's just based off of rumors. I don't even know if that's confirmed. I mean, they say he's going to be there, but until I see it,
Yeah, something, Drew. He may have just wanted this time to be on his own and take some digs at Gutenhurst. How do you pronounce his name? Gutenhurst or something like that? He just wanted to take shots at him.
The GM.
He's abused Aaron for the last couple of years. So Garrett said take this opportunity to just beat him up and take a break. I don't have to come in and practice or anything else.
I think they beat him up in that stakeholders meeting today, and they're like, you better get out there and say some stuff because we need our guy back.
Damn.
And so he came out and said what he had to say, but he might be on his way out if the season doesn't go the way they think it might. But how do you rank a GM? How do you quantify that? There's so many elements to that job.
And they only use, I think, a few because no analyst is going to go through all the criteria, and you should, to arrive at that. He's going to go on his own biased listing of things and compare this number against this and that. And then you come. Because, for the first year draft, okay, the 49ers did fail a bit, but not really. Because if you switch the first-round picks, you put George Kittle in the first round, you maybe put DJ Jones in the second round.
Get back on your school schedule because school starting next week.
Okay. And then you don't have...
today. Well, tomorrow.
That's right.
Getting some
I'm sorry, Drew.
Noise.
We just need to cut a line off. Hey, Rod, we'll get you in a minute. All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Drew.
Yeah, no, so, it's just, they call themselves analysts and journalists and everything like that, but, if you're really doing your job, you're dissecting it. This is just for TV. It's not a real ranking. To me, you can't just cherry pick people out of a bag and say, yo, John Lynch is 11th. I don't know. 2 years ago, he was in the Super Bowl, one of the deepest teams in the NFL. We wouldn't have got there if we weren't deep, and he did that. We had a little bit of carryover from Trent Baalke, but we didn't have much. I mean, this team, they were starting from scratch. They built this team up. And right now, I think you have to say that the 49ers are minus a couple different positions, but they're probably top 5 in the deepest teams in the NFL, maybe higher. But, just to be fair and try to be unbiased, it's got to be top 5, I think. We're going to cut some people. We talked about this a couple days ago. We're going to cut some people that we don't want to cut. And it's just going to happen. And other teams are going to come in and scrape them up, and they're probably going to flourish in their systems if they're a fit. But you can't say 11th and then look at this roster and go
and call them that. Drew, let me run this down to you really quick because Bill Belichick is ranked at number 1. You look at Kevin Colbert from the Steelers; he ranks at number 2. Andy Reid, Brett Vach, the Chiefs at number 3. Number 4. Mickey Loomis, Sean Payton of the Saints. Number 5, the position we're probably feeling the same thing about, Brandon Beam of the Bills. Now, would you make a comparison between Brandon and John? What do you?
I would put Beam higher. I'd put the Chiefs GM a little bit higher. Probably drop Belichick a little bit, not much. because they've been winning for so long. And yeah, Tom Brady left or whatever, but they're going to get it back together this year. There's a lot of guys that didn't play last year because of COVID and stuff, and I don't think that they're going to be as bad as they were. They're very
Drew,
deep.
How much time though are you going to give Belichick? Because like you're saying, Belichick, he has fallen. If this happens again, is it time to say that team was more about Brady than it was anything else? Or will they continue?
Good question. No, that's a great question. I think that, gosh, it's so hard to like if Brady. Man, that's a topic for another day because you really have to break that down. I think a lot of the defenses with New England were very responsible and very contributed. I mean, Belichick's a defensive coach; he's not an offensive coach. So a lot of those Super Bowls were won by defense. I think you'd have to argue.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a coin toss. Well, let's see if that happens again. Chris Ballard at number 6 of the Colts. Rick Spielman of the Vikings. The Vikings at number 7 really drives me nuts. I said, come on, man. What have the Vikings done but sit around in neutral and just coast?
No, that you might as well put Dallas in the top 10 too while you're at it. No.
God, come on, guys. John's deserves better. Drew, always good.
Yeah, Florio's just a biased guy. He's a biased guy. He always has been. There's no secret about that.
His time is coming, and he doesn't like Kirk Cousins as his quarterback, and that's why he's PO'd anyway. So he's mad at the world. Drew, always good stuff from you, man. We're gonna go. I'll be back tomorrow looking for you, though. All right, appreciate you.
All right, man. Yeah. I think they actually formally start Wednesday.
Yeah, maybe, probably, because tomorrow they're just gonna come in and settle in and sit around and shoot the breeze, probably. So I think you're right. All right, be looking for you then. All right, fam.
All right, yeah. Thanks for having me on, man.
Always a pleasure. Looking forward to it next time.
All right.
Night, Drew.
Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. And Rakib Jumane. Rakib, man, I always love saying your name. You can always tell because I like to roll that R. Rakib says, hey, how you doing, brother? Came up to Santa Clara from L.A. to see the Niners practice on Wednesday. There's our answer right there. On Wednesday, not tomorrow. I can't wait to get this started. Thank you for getting us through the long off season in the best. Thanks, Rakib, man. This is a sickness with me. I want to let you, if you're involved with me all off season long, you too are sick. We're sick together. I love this stuff. And then the big Rod says, "My man Ronbo thought I was hung up." Rod, it's not a problem. We just have to watch the line. And Rod, appreciate you, man. We'll see you keeping the kids ready for school. That was fun to hear. In fact, let me bring him in here now. A Niners for the Rod.
The Ronbizzle. What's going on, baby?
Oh, Rod, man, I was enjoying you, man. Rod in there being a daddy sounds good, being a daddy, too. You can feel the caringness and the sincerity in that voice. I bet the kids just love you to death.
Yeah, man. I'm the Bill Walsh in this house.
I love the comparison. Rod, man, they're talking about your GM like he ain't nobody. I meant some of these people in front of him. Rick Spielman of the Vikings is a better GM. Come on, y'all. Les Snead gets in at number 8. Come on, people. John Schneider, okay. I'll get that. But go ahead, family.
Let me get back to him, man, later. Back to this Seattle Reigns character. Does he realize it's been 7 years since 2014? 2014 was the last time the Seahawks won a Super Bowl. The next year, y'all didn't even want it. You had Lynch, and you didn't want it. Come on, dog. Stop, man. Stop. Did you see how ridiculous you sound, bro?
See, Seahawks, right? He comes in specifically. That is his whole MO is to just throw random stuff out there. You know, I wish we could talk private so Seahawk Reigns won't know what we're talking about because he'll know the plan. Boy, that boy. But anyway, fam, go ahead.
Man, as far as the John Lynch talk, though, man, I feel like, he's not going to get his just due. I mean, the truth be told,
I don't think he's done a terrible job. He did a pretty good job of building, but I mean, the problem with that is we really don't know between he and Kyle how many decisions he really made, maybe outside of the defense.
That is a mystery.
You know, I mean, Kyle said from the beginning he wanted that 4-3 defense. So, you know, maybe the fact, maybe because if you remember, he originally wanted Vic Fangio, which at the time was the defensive coordinator of Chicago. Yeah.
And couldn't get him. I remember that. That's true.
Right.
And then he was impressed with the Seahawks defense and said, well, let's get a guy in there who can run the 4-3. Enter Robert Saleh. Right. That's right. That's how that worked out. That was him doing all that. That's right.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the biggest mistake that he's made wasn't drafting Solomon Thomas with the 3rd pick. It was trading away DeForest Buckner, I'm going to say.
Oh, God.
I mean, you know, I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, step on him, though, Ronbo. I mean, I know that it's a process. It's a brick by brick was the motto that he ran. He built us a pretty good team, man, but I just felt like, you know, the only reason why I think letting DeForest Buckner go was the wrong move was because, you know, you're talking about a guy that pretty much played more snaps than anybody as a rookie. You know, think about what he did during the years of Chip Kelly when he was the head coach, and you know,
ooh, that was such a debacle. People still, oh my God, that was bad. Jimmy T.
He's a man. So I mean, you know, other than that, I mean, I just can't. I really don't know what to say. I think, you know, the talk around the NFL has been that the 49ers have been interested in this Adam Peters guy, and I don't know how true that is, but you know, I just know that
Rod, I
the
think
politics of it says.
Because ever since he got promoted, he got a promotion last year to vice something. I think he's next after they got rid of Mayhew. Yeah, Mayhew.
Martin Mayhew.
Yeah, Martin Mayhew left, and now that put Adam Peters. They moved him up a slot because they didn't want Adam Peters to leave. They probably increased his salary and gave him another ranking as far as in the pecking order. And people already started hollering, yeah, John Lynch got one more year to make a bad move, and we got Adam Peters as our GM. But you know what, Rod, just quickly with that, though, John Lynch, Adam Peters has a lot of experience. If you had to make a choice between the two, put yourself in that spot. I'm going to put me on that spot. You go first. Who would you take or keep?
Well, at this point, I'm going to have to say Peters only because I think there's been a couple of times that there have been players on the table that we should have pulled the trigger and we didn't. And I mean, you know, we can call a few names. I'm not going to just, you know, go Grant Cohn with it, but I mean, you know, there was, you remember there was one time Jadeveon Clowney was available, Odell Beckham Jr. was available, Jamal Adams was available. They said they went after Khalil Mack, but I mean, who said? But I mean, do we really know that's true? Do we really know? I mean, do we really know?
History, though, but we know the history, Rod. We don't deal with the Raiders. Yeah, we just don't. And the Giants,
I get it.
That goes all the way back to Parcells and Walsh. I mean, there's a history there. I knew those two teams weren't going to make a move, but I do not. Why don't people get over these things, Rod? But they're still holding against us this 20, 30, 40. What? Come on, man. Make the deal if it's going to benefit both teams. Come on, man.
Furthermore, Oakland, you guys took Ronnie Lott and Roger Craig. So it's like, you know, you want to be like us. That's like they took Jerry Rice, too. And, I mean, didn't they also take Charlie Gardner from us?
I think so. They got a number of us. But there was no deal involved. We didn't get anything for the Raiders from them people.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
They want to be like us, but yet, you know, you're talking about probably the best defensive end in football for the last 5 years. For them to just let it go like that, and I know, I'm sure if they really did make the offer, they made a good offer for Khalil Mack. I mean, can you just imagine, man, if we would have got Khalil Mack at the same time DeForest Buckner was on that line?
He's vicious. But you know what's really funny? We got Nick. Let's see who has the best future. Because the fact is, if you'd got Khalil Mack, we probably would have won. Then he's worth at least 2 more wins. We wouldn't have got Bosa.
Yeah. And then that's the other part that makes me think, well, maybe John Lynch wasn't a bad GM for the fact that, he used to play safety. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the fans in San Francisco, a lot of people want to see Jimmy Ward go because of the injuries, including myself. Mm-hmm. But he made the decision to keep him. So, I mean, you could look at it either way, man. But I'm not going to be one of those people that says that he was the worst in the NFC, though. I mean, that's bogus. You're talking about a couple of years removed from a Super Bowl, and we the least talented team in the NFL the year that he took reign. I mean, the very least team as far as talent wise. So, I mean,
it's just Lynch will do a lot for himself if they win this year, at least get to the playoffs. And I think they pretty much most decisions are stemming from that, whether you do or not. So, But Rod, as usual, we're going to have to go because we're having too much fun. I'm telling you, man. Rod, I'm glad Caesar's back in so I can hear from you. I'll be back. I'll be back Wednesday now because the guys going to be out there rolling. We're going to talk about that. All right?
Well, expect me in, brother.
All right, I will.
Let me get that shout out.
You know you can. A Niner! Rod. See you started, fam.
We'll catch the next one, Ronbo.
Can't wait.
Shout out to the Empire, and shout out to you, brother. Catch up with you.
Thanks, fam. Hey, go in there and work on Seahawks Rain before you go to bed, too. Hey, boy, he just be doing it, don't he? Oh, my God. All right. Night, fam. At least there's a good Seahawks fan in there, though. Hey! Emilio, you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I hung up the phone on accident. I said, damn. I said, hopefully I can get back in.
You know that sound? Nobody ever forgets it, too. That car accident sound? I thought you just ran into something,
No. I didn't wreck so many cars. I didn't love count.
You don't remember this sound? It still haunts me.
I remember the accident, but I just done lost count.
God, that sudden bam noise is. I wish I could record that. That is frightening. Hey, but Emilio, John Lynch. I'm looking at some of the names ahead of John Lynch, especially Snead. Les Snead is ranked in the top 10. John Lynch ain't. You're a man who looks at things rationally, though. I realize that the Rams are in the playoffs every year. If anything, Les Snead should not be ranked in front of the Seahawks' John Snyder at number 9. I don't understand that. But, why do you put John Lynch, and why is he not in the top 10, at least?
Everybody's making it seem like it's Shanahan making them. Well, it's not Lynch. Basically, they're just making it seem he's just a poster boy. He's just on the team. That's what that is. Because if you that's what it is. We look at everything. Basically, everything goes through Shanahan. Basically, it's my team. It just Lynch is just there. But we all know that of course Lynch makes decisions. But there's something they just want to keep pushing at. It's just Shanahan's team, and Lynch is just there. It's just when you look at the Raiders, they say, John Gruden makes all the moves. What's the other guy's name? Their GM for the Raiders?
For the Raiders?
For the Raiders. Yeah, you know how Gruden makes all the moves. And,
let me. In fact, you go ahead. I'm gonna go down here and see where the Raiders are listed. They're not even in the top 15.
No, but I'm
looking
just
for.
saying,
I know what you're ready to say. You go ahead and say it. Because you got to be curious.
I can't forget his name, but basically, it's just with Gruden. Gruden makes all the decisions, and the GM is just sitting there. I forget his name. The dude that was just came off of ESPN not too long ago.
NFL Network.
That's all he's doing. He's just
I know
there.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, whatever. Well, yeah, he's just there. That's all. That's what they're trying to make Lynch. It's just a guy that is just there. He doesn't make no decisions. I'm like, come on now, really?
Oh God! There he is, Mike Mayock.
There you go, Mayock.
Mayock is ranked at number 26, and just for the reasons you just mentioned too, because that's John Gruden's man, and I can't believe Mike is sitting there taking that. He seems like the kind of guy that want to be a little more hands-on and not having to listen to Gruden to say, nah, I don't like that pick at all. There's nothing I can do with him. And then you got to respect Gruden because in the past, Gruden was good with the Raiders, right? Yeah, so it's hilarious. Not the Raiders, but Tampa.
I mean, they did. He beat Shanahan and said, all right, the defense, I run. So I don't see what
you're popping in and out. Your signals, wherever you go, wherever you usually are, you need to go back to that spot because your signal's busting up. Yeah, I didn't know Mayock was number 26. Well, Mito draw that attention to that. It's hilarious.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's good now. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. So no, it's just Lynch-Shanahan made the decision already. Talking about you run the offense, I run the defense. You do your thing. You got to look at it. Lynch has done this thing. He's gotten players. Besides one of his mistakes, what was it? Solomon Thomas. Other than that,
everybody goes to Solomon Thomas.
No, that's just.
I know.
Solomon wasn't. To me, honestly, Solomon wasn't bad. He never got a shot. Honestly, you really got a true shot. Because if you compare, because you think about it, you go to Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead literally still only has one good year out of the years he's been there. He's only had, and Lynch didn't draft him, so you got to look at it. It's just a lot of these players do only have one good year, and then all of a sudden they have a bunch of whole crappy years, and then it works out. It's just with certain players. Some players shine 1 year, or takes them a few years before they shine, and then all of a sudden they have a great year. So it all depends on the player, and it depends what the team is looking like at the time. Because if the team is horrible, it's not going to really work unless you're an all-star. Like you look at it like Patrick Willis. The team was crap, and he did his thing every single year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man. And so Lynch has got to put up with that until after 5 years we only had one winning season. Well, 4 years. That's why the heat is on this year.
But then you think about it. Well, I know Shanahan doesn't get a lot of that grief too. It's just, I've been building this team from the ground up. I'm like, you've been building the offense from the ground up. So, like I said, Lynch and Salah were the ones building the defense. So I don't think why Shanahan's getting the credit for that. I'm like, dude, he's not building both sides of the team. You can't give one guy all the credit for that. So,
no, but you got to give him a little credit because he was one who wanted to incorporate the 4-3 defense and also.
Of course.
Yeah. But
of course, it's just your team. You want to, what you want. It's just like any other team. It's okay. I want to run this offense and I run this defense. Yeah, but it's up to the GM and the defensive coordinator to do that. And just with Shanahan, it's a his decision to bring in the offense.
Emilio, do you remember? Was it Kyle that hired? I think Kyle hired Robert Saleh. I think Lynch hadn't been signed yet. The pieces. If you go back to the beginning, it's kind of interesting. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Shanahan hired everybody. He hired his GM. He hired his staff. He hired Lynch. Kyle did all that. He was the one that made all the decisions.
No.
He's just the thing with Lynch. Lynch was like, I'll come to the team, but I don't want nobody to leak stuff out like everything's been leaking with Baalke. Baalke would tell everybody. Everything was getting leaked. Everybody. Yeah, through with Baalke, everybody named Mama knew everything. I said, come on. I said, God, we can't hide nothing. I said, are you guys serious? I was like, every time, come on, we're getting rid of a Harbaugh. I'm like, that's not true. All of a sudden, it's true. Yeah. We're not doing this. And all of a sudden, it's true. I said, God, you guys can't hold the water. I said, damn. It's like, what the hell's going on with this team? And all of a sudden, you look at now, Yeah, you can't get not one leak now. So
not one.
hey,
I mean,
they got to be doing something else. So
you couldn't get a flat bug.
I credit Lynch for that. So Lynch, even though Shanahan does runs his offense and whatever else, Lynch has something to do with the front office. So he's the one doing making sure nothing gets leaked out. So that's partially his job. He's doing his part. I don't want nothing coming out, nothing said. We keep everything in-house.
And it's had a lot of effect on what the 49ers do, too, because them surprises we get all of a sudden, those are awesome. I mean, then we're going to go. I'm going to see you Wednesday, and we get them reports about what's going on in practice. Can't wait, finally.
Yeah, let's see what happens going on.
Should be fun.
Season's, finally 49er football's going to start. Our Super Bowl run's going to start. So, hey, I'm ready for it.
You're ready. All right, Emilio. Looking forward to hearing from you Wednesday, fam. Have a great night.
All right.
Here he goes.
All right, you too. All right.
Emilio. NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC. He says Lynch will have to be a magician next offseason or trade Kyle for some picks. Hey, that's a joke. Fab, thanks for that. But you know what? They tried to trade Harbaugh. I mean, you know what? It was Trent Baalke tried to trade Harbaugh. Guys wouldn't have been laughing about that deal had I picked up Flash Gordon. And that's what I was trying to get. Flash Gordon was going to be our wide receiver. Him and Colin Kaepernick were going to be a force. But I got overruled, and I couldn't bring him in. And I said, come on, man, you can't trade Harbaugh to Cleveland. They won't confirm. There's nowhere to find any confirmation on that. That was floating around. I didn't even know what a Flash Gordon was. Somebody else said to Flash Gordon, ooh, that's that wide receiver that's been tearing up? And then, of course, your mind starts to float. Are you going to, how much you love Harbaugh. Are you so easy that you would just say, do it? See, you think about that too, right? Would you have taken Flash Gordon back then for Harbaugh? I know this. Well, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Show, I know you would.
Ronbo, no, actually, that's not true. I wouldn't. But can you come back?
Come back? Okay, we'll be back.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, Robert.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Oh, Robert, man, we're sitting back here and going over. And actually, NBC does not represent everybody. But, just that they ranked John Lynch outside the top 10 was kind of interesting. It's like they squeezed him in as close as they could the top 10 without putting him in it at number 11. I see. You guys, boy, y'all be right, man. Robert, how do you feel about the job John Lynch has been doing?
Well, first of all, they did that just to give us something to talk about. They know better than that.
They even know better. They do.
Now, I would say, us as fans, we would probably put him in the top 5, but he's really like 6, 7 range.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly.
be honest, that's just be about. But the thing is, like I've heard a couple callers say, and I agree that, it's almost, we don't know who's making what decisions, you know what I'm saying? We know Cal has his hand in every decision, but we don't know how much he's allowed to, actually do when it comes to signing
Does he have 2
players
votes?
and things like that. Yeah, right. And the issue is, he's missed on a couple of players, but a lot of those big name players that he quote unquote missed on or he passed on, when he first got here, him and Cal, it was about changing the culture. And I think some of those players weren't culture fit for what the 49ers was trying to do. Right? And I don't see how you would find so many top players in the NFL wanting to play for the number 11 GM. That don't make sense. Right?
Good point.
Because if you put a microphone in any player's face, they want one of the top teams they want to play for. The 49ers is on their board, and that's for a reason. It's because of the coach.
And everybody can't do that. You know, he doesn't get enough credit for that. Him and in combination, you're right, Robert. That is something nobody talks about enough. The culture that they've built, that environment, it's conducive to that's why they call everybody in that organization the players GM, the players coach. This is the kind of thing you want to do. It's not easy.
Because a couple of years ago, you know, we spent 49ers fans, you know, we spent a lot of time defending the 49ers for things outside of football. Let's just be honest. Especially during those Kaepernick years. And right after that, we spent a lot of time, you know, like defending our franchise, you know, and putting a spotlight on us, you know. But they came in and changed the culture. They went, you know, completely a different direction, and they made this somewhere people want a desired place to play.
Robert, you bring up a time period too that was that was rough, right? We had convicts, we had dudes go up on charges. Every time you looked up in the news, one of our guys was in some serious trouble. That was rough. Man, there was some
it was rough. But you know that, right? You know, when Lynch came in, even if he is the face, he's a dang good face. Because he presents us in a gentleman's manner. He's educated. You know, he's passionate about the sport. If you play for this team, like one of the biggest things he did here recently was stepping out on the edge for Richard Sherman.
And remember how he embraces 49er history? When you walk into the hallway, as you're coming into the state facility, you see all those golden names just all over the wall. You know, that's how you build. You use the history to inspire your guys. Look what you're going to be a part of.
What have the Vikings done? What have the Vikings done to represent their GM to be in the top 10? John Lynch, outside.
Yeah. NBC, Mike Florio probably says, you know what? My team is the Vikings, and let's go ahead and slide them in there at number 10. Well, we thought we'd put John Lynch in at number 10. You won't. You will not.
It's just a lot of BS, but the good part about all of it is the BS is going to end. Football season's approaching.
Yeah.
They just quit all the speculating. Let's hear some pass cracking.
Can't wait. There's going to be some fun this year with the 49ers coming back to trying to redeem themselves after last year's bizarre. Oh, that was strange.
Oh, yeah. But I ain't gonna hold you tonight. But I just want to make sure I just got one thing to say. This is a safe place, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Lions suck. Good night.
I was wondering what you were going to say. Don Burr, hey, you know, it's so funny. Robert, Don Burr told everybody he was leaving, and in his memory, he said something very Don Burrish, and then he left. He had to go. Don Burr, man, you know what? Oh, God. Okay. You know what? We got to stop taking these guys.
Yeah, week 2, he won't even be affected.
We won't be able to find him, I know. All right.
He's being deleted all accounts and everything.
Hey, fam, I tell you what, I'll be back Wednesday looking for you, and let's see what's going on in camp. All right?
Y'all have a good one.
You too. Night, Robert. Yeah, Don Burr, boy, like he's important, make an announcement that he leaves. And it's trying to get, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Show! Are you ready, Show?
I'm ready. I would have traded Trent Baalke for Josh Gordon. I know that for
sure. Because, you know, at that time, we were fine. There was no need, right? You knew we were going to win.
No.
If you get rid of Harbaugh, now we really got a problem. And we did, and the problem did occur. Gordon was on fire that year, though. Every time you looked up, he was in the news.
Oh, yeah, he was.
For good things, not bad things.
We would have had him and Peyton Manning if things went our way that year. If we would have got Peyton Manning, so that would have been fire.
Yeah.
Anyways, but what's that, Ronbo?
Yeah, well, you know, John Lynch didn't get in by NBC. I picked it. I looked at NBC and I said, you know what? Here's something to talk about, because the fact of the matter is, John Lynch is being just just dropped him down below Les Snead. the Vikings, Rick Spielman, is at number 7. So why would Rick Spielman be at number 7? What is he? What?
Because he turned the Vikings around really quickly, Ronbo. And he's had a lot more. I honestly don't remember when the time he took over, but Josh Allen, man, that was a huge hit for them. They haven't had a quarterback since Jim Kelly, and that says it all right there.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills. I've got no problem with the Bills, not really. I don't even have a problem with the Hawks at number 9 because they remain consistent every year. But John Robinson, the Titans, you like that one?
Yeah, I do because Ryan Tannehill, they hired the right coaching staff in front of Ryan Tannehill to turn his career around. They put weapons around him. They built an offensive line, and even though their defensive line's pretty sketchy, they've been in the playoffs the past couple of years and really consistent lately and winning games. And as far as our John Lynch goes, Ronbo, I think it's fair, to be honest with you, because if you really look at it objectively, he's had more hits. He has had more misses than hits since 2017. You know what I mean? The one he hit out of the park was 2019 with Nick Bosa. Great player, potential Hall of Famer, but his problem is he's got to stay on the field. You know
though, this conversation, we wouldn't be having this conversation as John Lynch being out of the top 10 had it not been for the injuries. I don't know that. Do you place the fault of a bunch of players being injured? Where do you designate that blame? I just don't understand, because if I look at the 49ers of last year and even in the 2019 year, we were hurt and we managed to stumble into the Super Bowl, and we could almost won anywhere. And then you look at last year and it was incredible. We must have set a Guinness record. So I still think what the GM done, it's out of his hands with the injuries, I guess.
Right. But you also got to have really good scouts under you, too, to look at players and pay attention to players' injuries history. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it does translate into the NFL, believe it or not, when they get into the – I understand football is a rough and violent sport, but there are players out there who take care of their bodies. You can tell. And, like, Lincoln Tomlinson, for example, he's never been hurt. Yeah. That's a hit. Fred Warner's a hit. Fred Warner's never been knock on wood, injured. Yeah. George Kittle, he's in and out of the lineup every year, but he plays through his injuries, and he also is very tough. And so those are 3 hits right there.
Did you know anything about George Kittle's? Was he injured at Iowa?
I don't think so.
Yeah, see, so it's hard to make that judgment when you're scouting like that as to the player's durability. George Kittle's been hurt every year and seriously hurt. He played with a flat jacket 1 year. He was seriously hurt that year. With him, though, he just keeps going until people stop him. But go ahead, give me some more.
I personally would have given John Lynch an incomplete, not even rank him right now.
I like that. Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
That's a fair assessment right there, because he needs another winning season, Ronbo, or otherwise he's out of here. Adam Peters wasn't just brought up to assistant general manager for nothing, not to sit there and look pretty. He's literally breathing down John Lynch's neck right now.
So, but when you say that, as I said, what's going on in the field, is that exactly John Lynch's fault? Now, what happens here, and also if the rumor is, and I don't know if it's a rumor, if everybody says Kyle Shanahan is pulling all the strings, do you fire John Lynch if things go south?
Well, let's go back to Kyle's Flying Coach podcast, where he talked about John Lynch there. He said that he and John Lynch never had a relationship in the beginning before he was brought on, and he never reached out to John Lynch.
John Lynch called him.
John Lynch called him. It was the other way around. The only way Kyle Shanahan heard of John Lynch was through his dad, because he played with him in Denver and also in Tampa. So, that's the only relationship they have, and so I would think that John Lynch would be the one that would be going out as things go south.
Okay, but you realize, whoever, him and Adam Peters, he probably continue the same relationship with Adam Peters. And I'm not sure about what I'm saying. I'm just guessing. So maybe Kyle does leave that group independent to make decisions, and then he'll come in and vote maybe they put it to a vote between 4 or 5 guys or 6 guys. I don't know.
Right.
But if that is the case, the relationship would still be staying. Maybe you're intimidated because he is Kyle Shanahan, the son of a legendary coach. You got to give him a certain amount of. Mike's got an office, I understand, in the facility right down the hall from Kyle too. So it's really scary.
And I'm sure Mike whispered in Kyle's ear about John Lynch. Like, say, I'm pretty sure John reached out to Mike first before he called Kyle Shanahan and said, "Hey, look, I left football. I want to be your GM." And he talked to his dad with it, and lo and behold, the rest is history. You know what I mean? So, but John's got to have another winning season this year, Ronbo.
It's true.
Otherwise,
Jed's gonna have to move, and he's gonna have to make a move because of public perception. Because I agree. Show, dang it, we're out of time. I'll see you Wednesday, and we'll
shout
digest
out to the
what's been said.
fam. All right, y'all take care. All right, stay safe.
All right, Joe. Have a great night. Yeah, this web that we're just starting to weave out here about who's in charge. See, that's why, it's really tough because we don't know the truth about who's running things. Is it John? Is he making the deals? Are they doing it collaboratively? Show speaks as if, and he has a good reason to. Show speaking as if Kyle didn't necessarily want John Lynch. John Lynch came to him. Jay, you okay? Hey, Jay, I hope you're not blowing your nose. Jay!
What's up, Ronbo?
Okay, there you are. Jay, those kind of noises always make my mind race and imagination race. Okay, never mind. Jay, how you doing tonight?
Doing all right, Ronbo. How you doing?
Doing great. Because football season's here. We only got to wait a couple more days, and we got football. But tonight, I saw NBC Sports take a shot at John Lynch and rank him outside of the top 10. And in some cases, maybe it's true. But from another angle, I don't know if he should have been outside the top 10. The 49ers, that roster started out with nothing but a deep crater. They had to build a foundation, pour concrete in that hole and steel. They had to get a foundation built. They had to put them bricks up and build it straight up. They deserve a lot more credit. Jay, come on, man. What is with number 11 by NBC Sports? So,
Man, they tripping. One, John Lynch brought him back to 49ers. We just didn't win a Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, they need to fail to realize that he should be in the top. He should be in the top. We just had a losing season, and that's why they're making it where he's not in the top 10. But he really is in the top 10. Yeah. I think, he made a couple of mistakes, but he was a brand new GM. So, you got to count that in effect, too. So,
I do. Yeah.
And he got us in the Super Bowl after 3 years. Mm-hmm. So, at the end, he signed all our key free agents. And people really had to fail to realize that.
Boy, you cannot get enough credit for that. And you brought those guys back on. You got them to agree to 1-year deals, Jay. Nobody wants a 1-year deal. Jason Verrett could have said, I could get a job, guys.
Yeah, and I think he smart thing by getting all our players. He signed everybody pretty much. We got, Juice. We got Jason Verrett. Mm-hmm. We got Warren. We got George Kittle. So I think he ain't getting enough credit because and you can't count that as, you got to look at the draft and the players that he have brought in. So, they traded for Jimmy, got Jimmy there. Like, what I'm saying? He made some big moves. And we went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, granted, we didn't win it, but we went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and
the Cowboys can't say that. You know what I'm saying?
How about them Cowboys? Oh, Jerry.
Right.
Jerry didn't get no love.
So, right. So he ain't getting no love. So at the end of the day, It is what it is. We just got to win the Super Bowl. And then they'll just show more attention to John. Then they're going to say, oh, John Lynch, he was a genius. He done signed all his key free agents. And then you know how the media is. Yeah. They jump ship soon as you win the Super Bowl. They just like they're sitting up there talking about the Tampa Bay was loaded. But nobody was talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers until they won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Just dick riders, you know what I'm saying? Just dick riders.
Actually, when Tom went over there, all of a sudden they became famous. Then wherever Tom goes, the balance of power shifts, right? So now you got to give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because they had anointed them Super Bowl champions as soon as Tom landed at the airport. So okay.
Yeah,
so
but he brought some key people in there too. You got to understand, he done brought Gronk there. He brought Antonio Brown there. So it was just him, you know what I'm saying? Just a team effort. People got to realize that.
Awesome point. Tom should have been declared GM in the GM ranking.
Correct. You know what I'm saying?
When you think about it.
He done brought all of, you're right. So you got to understand that he brought some weapons. Antonio Brown been, people probably not consider Antonio Brown the old Antonio Brown, but he still can ball. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great deal. And, Jay, you know why that Antonio Brown's a great deal? Brown told everybody, man, I pay for a certain amount of money. Y'all ain't got the money. You ain't no need to call me. Tom talked to him. He came over and played for whatever. That wasn't what he wanted. He played. And he came back, and Tom got him back on the team this year. So, Tom Brady, he could be a GM.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? So, no, they just, once we win the Super Bowl, they're going to be riding John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. They're going to be riding their nuts and all day long. We're going to be hearing about the Niners, but we don't get no credit when it's due. So, once we go out there and we do our thing, we win the Super Bowl, you know how it is. The media going to switch. They're going to switch sides. They're going to be, they're going to be riding.
They're so wishy-washy. And we fall for the things they say. Every year we fall in the same pattern. Before the draft, the media has everybody hanging on to every word they say. And I swear to God, I'm not doing it next year. I promise I'm not doing it next year. God, this.
Right. And they be riding. They be riding they be riding them teams, jock strap. So, at the end of the day, I just felt like this, Ronbo. My team is going, we're going to pull it out this year. You know what I'm saying? I just hope for the most part, we just stay healthy and we can bring it in. You know what I'm saying? I think Kyle learned from the Super Bowl, and I think he needs when he have a team down, he needs to put them out.
Put the foot on the neck. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you gotta understand, like, you had somebody down, you gotta put them out, and
it's a learning process. And when you consider, Jay, 2017 till now, actually they've accomplished quite a bit, because a lot of teams don't. It takes them longer than that to get up, walk, or crawl, walk, and then run. And the 49ers, had it not been for the last couple of injuries, we could have been playoff contenders 3 years in a row if you count this upcoming year. Everything goes all right.
Last year, it was the luck of the draw. We had so many just injuries and COVID. It was just a weird year last year. So it was pretty much that every team done had situation. We just had the bad luck of the draw out of all the teams, and it's a proven. We had the most injuries, and we just didn't make. That's why you have to capitalize on. When you in the big game, you have to capitalize. You never go back. Look at Dan Marino.
I know, right? I feel he still talks about that.
Dan Marino, yeah, exactly. So you have to capitalize.
Because you never know when you're going to get back. Anyway, Jay, we're going to roll. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to see you Wednesday. We're going to get some info, some intel out of camp. It should be interesting. I'll be looking for you.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Finally here's camp. I'm just ready. I'm ready, Ronbo. Yeah. I appreciate you, brother. You have a good night.
Jay, you do the same, fam. I'll be looking for you Wednesday. All right. Night, Jay.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Yeah. And it's time to go visit Oh, hey, Charles. Charles, you got no audio, Charles. There's just one function you work on there. All right. Charles, work on that because you got to get your sound in. There's one little function. I used to have instructions up on how to do that, too. In the meanwhile, let us go on out down where the sun shines and the cactus stands out on the desert in beautiful, I tell you, TNT, Denise, your sidekick, Daisy. Denise, come on in.
How's it going, Ronbo?
Denise, it's going okay. You know, the media is always going to give us something to talk about. And Denise, I see in the future that day finally arrives when we stop being the whipping boys of the media, and they just start talking about us with all kind of respect. I mean, Denise, you look at the New York Giants and the Jets. When's the last time anybody in the media really wrote up a long, nasty article about those teams? You look at even the Cardinals. The Cardinals they're not doing anything special. They look good. They got a nice roster. But in the years gone by, they haven't done anything in years. And, and the Rams get all the love in the world because they have a new stadium. They're in L.A., and there we are. That team. Yeah. You guys, your general manager ranks number 11, and be satisfied that we keep him we put him at number 11. Okay, you guys.
Yeah, I 100% disagree with that. First of all, am I wrong? I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, because God knows I don't know everything. Didn't John Lynch just recently win GM of the Year, or was I hallucinating?
No, in fact, you're right. I do remember that accolade. Who gave him that? Somebody. He got that recently. You're right.
So he won GM of the Year, but yet he's 11.
Yeah.
I find that shocking. Well, I do agree. I don't think he's like top 5 or anything, because I don't think you can give him that kind of kudos when we haven't had many seasons.
Yeah, we got to win.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. I understand.
So I agree with that. And I think last year is a wash, because people need to remember we literally had $81 million on injured reserve. $81 million.
Oh, God.
I mean, shit, that's lottery numbers, people. That's lottery.
You could get a third world nation. You could actually get them on their feet, put an infrastructure in place. Right? I mean, when $81 million and we had it sitting on the bench. No, they were sitting up in the booth, surrounded by glass where I could see them.
You could feed a small country with $81 million. Let's be serious. Like, shit.
So, that's why I said,
I don't think he gets enough credit. Like and you know me, Ronbo, people in chat can call me a homer. I don't give a rat's ass. I am a homer. I love Kyle Shanahan.
It's a nice thing to be.
I think the boy is going to be stellar. But does he make mistakes? Absolutely. But I think John Lynch has just as much to do with what goes on as Kyle Shanahan. Like, think about what happened last year. COVID happened. Injuries happened.
Oh.
We got kicked out of our home field. Like, we got kicked out.
Refugees.
And John Lynch managed to rally the team and get them bring them over here to Phoenix. The Cardinals, opened up their home to them. I mean, John Lynch deserves a lot of credit for that.
You heard what Phil said earlier, right?
I can guarantee you.
Lynch is the guy that's running around out in the parking lot and high-fiving people and handing out goodies and stuff like that. This guy, if John Lynch gets fired, there's going to be a lot of us upset. A lot of us.
Oh, my God. You know what? Like, him and Kyle both need to put together winning seasons. Nobody's going to argue that, because you can't argue it.
You can't. Yeah.
It's a fact.
That's what this thing is about.
They deserve, think about everything that happened to us last year, Ronbo. I'm surprised we won as many games as we did, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. We did really well. That's a conversation we for another day too. But yeah, 6 wins with that team was wonderful.
But that's what I mean. And some of it, Like, did we win, like, blow people off the field? No. But shit, we were playing with 4-string players.
Practice squad. I mean, oh, that was rough.
I mean, shit, we were calling people off the couch. We were like, yo, homie, can you catch a ball? Yeah. Can you stand up and, just hold someone, for a couple seconds? Come on, we need you on our defensive line. Let's go.
Oh, God.
You 300 pounds? I don't care if you're 300 pounds of muscle or fat. Get your ass out on the field. Let's go.
We'll put a uniform on you and tighten it up. And you can just all we want to do is go forward.
Right? Just stand there and put your arms up. Let your weight do the work. Shit.
But John Lynch is guy. Because the thing is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, all I was going to say is I just don't think people give Kyle and John enough credit for what happened last year. I mean, like I said, maybe I'm just delusional. I'm amazed we won games at all, to be honest with you. Like, wow,
Denise,
we won? All right.
You're absolutely right, Denise. And the thing is, you had no continuity. You had players that were in the lineup this week, and they weren't there next week, being replaced by somebody else. There was no way that the 49ers were supposed to. That was supposed to be a 2-win season, or maybe 3. But the rest of the time, and we lost. Yeah. We lost some games we should have won in the last. That New Orleans Saints game was there for us to win.
I agree with that.
And
I absolutely agree with what Jay said. That is one thing that I definitely hate about Kyle Shanahan. It's like when you have a team on the ropes, you need to put your foot on their neck and press. That is one thing I do hold against him. It's like, Kyle, smack them around. F them up. Let's go.
You know what, Denise? Kyle's been a head coach for all of 4 years. Now I'm thinking he's learned all the things you need to learn, because everything is about you got to have reps. No matter what you do in life, it takes reps in order to get to the best. I think by now, and his father has been a guiding force, I'm sure, too. But you know how it is with your parents. As soon as your dad calls you, what? Okay, would you just, with that attitude, just listen for a moment, all right, Kyle? I can just see that conversation.
Oh, shit.
And that's the way it is. And Kyle's going to learn, and it's going to be okay.
I can absolutely see that conversation. Can you imagine being Kyle's dad? That boy, oh, my gosh.
and Kyle's mom's
everybody says.
Hey, go ahead.
No, I'm laughing with you, Ronbo, because I'm like, can you imagine, like, Kyle, I don't know how the dad is. I remember a little bit of his coaching career, but I'm laughing because I'm over here like, Kyle's a cocky little SOB, and can you imagine him and his dad going at it about football? Holy shit.
And your dad has won 2 Super Bowls. How do I argue with my dad? He's won a couple of Super Bowls,
right?
And I made a couple of mistakes here. I need to listen, but he needs to listen to me. Dad, this ain't 1994, okay? Can you imagine that flying out of his mouth?
I was just going to say that.
and the mom, of course.
Like, Dad,
hey, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, he's probably like, son, this is what you need to do. And Kyle's like, Dad, it's not back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, man. Like, it doesn't work like that anymore.
And, of course, the mom's got to come in. Mike, let him handle that. I want you to come in here. I want you to look at something anyway. You got to keep a barrier between the two of them. Denise, we're having too much fun again. We got to go. Tell you what, though, Wednesday, we're going to find out what's going on at camp. That should be fun stuff. So,
Ronbo, I'm going to give you a belated gift. You're going to die laughing, but I'm going to hang up. So it's like, I'm out here with Daisy. It's 10 o'clock in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's 95 degrees right now.
Right.
Woo! 95, Ronbo, at 10 o'clock.
Remember, you had 75 the other day after that rainstorm, so you knew this was coming.
I know, right? I need to be happy, right?
Nice. Enjoy that weather. Summer's going to end sometime between now and the next 60 days. You'll be okay.
Right? I just thought you'd find that funny. That's all.
It is funny, 95 degrees in
all
darkness.
All right, Ronbo.
90 days. Oh,
all right. Good night, Ronbo. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
It's funny. You living in the Bay Area, So you can't get those kind of evenings normally. You might get a warm one here and there. It's going to be about 75 or 80, but 95 at night. Talk about the parties. Oh, Elsa.
Hey, Ronbo, can I get just 5 minutes?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, be back. All right. Hey, Tony.
Ronbo.
Tony.
What's up, Ronbo?
Oh, Tony, man, we're sitting up here going over the ranking of the GMs. You know what, Tony? I just realized something. Wait a minute. Oh man, because you may have seen this already. Where is Jerry Jones is number 18? Let me look up from 18, because please don't tell me that Jerry Jones his GM is getting a better ranking. Tony, you probably already know. Where's NBC got your GM ranked?
I haven't even seen him, Ronbo. I couldn't even tell you.
Boy, this is
He's a rookie too, Ronbo. So they probably got him at the bottom.
You know what? You're right. He's not ranked. All right, because I know that you would love to hear that Jerry Jones is ranked below the GM of the Atlanta team, but you're right. He's got to come in and do something. You say
I don't
what?
have nothing against Jerry Jones.
How come?
I like Mr. Spotlight. I call him Mr. Spotlight because Spotlight. It's the team and their fans that I got a problem with. Jerry Jones takes care of his players. He really does.
God. Well, Texas is on
fire. He mismanages, but
yeah, I know. Jerry Jones looks. I look at him like when I look at that glass boot they flash on it, I look at him as a pimp. You know what I mean? I don't look at him as a GM. I look at him as just Jones is strange. He says he laughs and makes jokes when people ask him for money, and then he pays them. That's such pimpitude,
And they don't do a very good job. They only do a very good job of it when Michael Irvin then was playing, because when Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman and all them retired and they were doing really bad, like in the early 2000s, he was still paying them. Moose Johnson, he was still paying them. They were retired.
That's why they never go anywhere. Jerry Jones does not know what he's doing as a GM. But, in Texas, also, meanwhile, in that other part of Texas, 3 first-round picks. Tony, 3 first-round picks will land you Deshaun Watson. Make that call.
I can't see that happen. I can see them getting 2, maybe, or I could see them getting 1 and 2 second-round picks. 3 first-rounders is not going to happen.
The Washington football team? We talked about that.
I don't think they'll. You talking about the Houston Texans for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah. Who's going to do that?
Nobody. I can't see it.
The GM,
not 3 first-rounders, no.
It sounds like they're serious about that. He says, the write-up says the GM's taking a hard stance on this, and he's not going to be denied. And I said, really? Well, Deshaun's going to be playing in Texas.
Deshaun Watson there, then.
Yeah. And then
I can't see anybody doing it.
I can't. And wait, Jamal Adams, they're not even close to a deal in Seattle. I thought that was going to be a done deal. Well, I said it the other day. I said, okay. Yeah. Not even close.
Interesting. Will he sit or will he play?
See, that's what I was getting ready to ask you.
I thought that was a done deal. So we're going to have to stay tuned on that one. So I guess Aaron Rodgers has called his bluff. He's going to come to camp and play now.
I know. We should have known. Of course he's going to play. It's in his blood.
You know what, though? That's going to be a distraction, though.
Especially if Adams doesn't sign. And Adams is sitting back talking about
NFC Championship this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. But Ronbo, the niece that you had in the call, she had a couple of really good points. I forgot what the topic you guys were talking about.
GMs and GM ranking.
Yeah. That, it's just like Colin Cowherd did his quarterback rankings, and Matt Ryan ain't even in the top 10. So I just started laughing.
I wonder if anybody asked him why was that. Who did he put in his top 10? I mean, that's come to think of it. Okay, Brady's got to get in there. Mahomes has got to get in there. I'm sure Lamar
Mahomes
Jackson's
was
in
number
there.
one, Aaron Rodgers was 2.
Oh, I forgot
Mahomes
Rodgers.
was
Yeah,
1, Rodgers was 2. I think Russell Wilson was 3.
Russell's got to be at least 3, top 5.
Deshaun Watson was in there, but the bottom 5 from 6 through 10, he had Matthew Stafford, not in any particular order, Ronbo. Stafford, Dak Prescott. I know, right? Who else he have in there? I can't think who else he had in there, but those two kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. I'm like, are you kidding
maybe
me?
Kirk.
Kyler Murray was there.
Kyler Murray Kirk Cousins must have been in there.
I don't think he had Kirk Cousins there.
I know Baker Mayfield wasn't in there. I gotta go check that out. I gotta see who are the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Matt Ryan has prolific numbers every year, and Dak before Mac is very strange.
On the 4-12 team, Matt Ryan had 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year.
So I don't know. I just don't know what they base these things on. And maybe if we're sitting there as they calculate and worked it out, maybe we might better understand. But Dak Prescott didn't beat a team over 500 before he went down. I look at that strongly. All right, if he's out there beating teams that aren't doing that well, I can't give him all that much love. Come on.
And Willie McGinnis sat here today on NFL Network giving them all. I had to go out the shower after work, giving them all the love. But he was talking about their offense. So I kept thinking to myself, what about the defense, Willie? What about the defense, Willie? He didn't say nothing about the defense. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. You're going to start a rookie at your number 2 corner and your number 1 pick from last year.
They don't have a choice.
That's no experience at the corner.
Here comes Texas boy, too. Last time I checked, the Cowboys beat the Chiefs last time they faced each other. Well, how long ago was that? When did the Cowboys beat the Chiefs?
It had to be 4 years ago because they played the NFC West, the AFC West this year.
Yeah. Come on, Team B. That ain't no, that doesn't count.
Ask Texas boy, what's the Cowboys record from 2000 to 2020?
I tell you, some of these rankings, they're always left open for debate. So because sometimes I like to calm down. I still think John Lynch should have been top 10, and I don't know how much better you can build a team than the 49ers have done. Injuries should not be a part of the equation. I understand winning and losing is going to be the determining factor on most of these decisions. But sometimes I think, you guys, man, I don't know. That's
John Lynch and your squad set a trend, Ronbo.
Yeah.
With John Lynch, you guys are the first team that I know of in a long time, 4 first-round picks on your D-line. Now Washington's copied y'all formula, and the Giants just copied y'all formula.
That's how you do
so
it.
John Lynch should have been there.
Yeah. But no, he's as I say, if you win, you get, even if you're not worthy of everything you need to be worthy of in order to be considered that good, then you're still going to get on top of the rankings. The 49ers have created an atmosphere around there that's conducive to players who want to play there. People like playing in the 49ers. You always hear when there's a player available. I don't know where it always comes from, but he's always on the 49ers list. So, whether the 49ers are pursuing that player or he's requesting to go to San Francisco. Somebody said Aaron Rodgers had a destination. I mean, we already know about Brady. Stafford would have liked to play with the 49ers. It's just pretty funny how they still managed to make the 49ers. No, man, the 49ers ranked number 99. Okay, you guys go ahead with that stuff. That's all right.
They always want to hype the Dallas Cowboys. It's like that day when Shannon Sharp, who shouldn't have did that for Julio, had him on the speaker for everybody. He said, "You want the Dallas?" He said, "No, man, I want to win." I cracked up a Julio fan.
Tony, we gotta go. Good stuff. Every time I see a Wednesday, man, everybody starts working out and exchange on what's going on with that. All right, fam.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Any news come up, I will let you know, sir.
Looking forward to it. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
All right, good talking to you, sir.
Same here.
All right.
All right, Tony. Hey, Alice, you must be ready.
I'm ready. I'm going to be, Ronbo. I'm in here in this line at the store.
Check out.
Yeah, I'm going to self-checkout. I got two more people in front of me.
All right.
Hopefully it's not too noisy for the people. I just wanted it to be a little quiet, so it wasn't too much beeping and chirping in the background.
You want us to you guys you need any more time?
Maybe like 2 minutes or less, maybe. If that, I should be out of here any minute. I just didn't want to,
All right, we'll go get. All right. So Ellis is doing his domestics, and we'll go ahead and bring in Papa Dragon. Oh, Papa DD. Hey, Pop, come on in, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Papa, are you doing Elvis?
I don't know what I'm doing, man.
You got to put more drawl in there. Man. You got to go ahead and get down.
Oh no.
No,
that's just a little bit of that Nashville drawl in the morning. Just sitting back listening to my main man Ronbo. Please subscribe. Please donate. Please like this video. Shout out to production.
Thanks, Bob.
What's up, Niner Nation? What's up, Ronbo? Let's talk some football.
You know how we are. We're always victims of something when it comes to outsiders, right? And they dropped John down, number 11. And Big Show brought up some good points. There's no point getting too homerish like I love to do and proud of it and put John Lynch at number 1. But then I look at the people up at the top and I say, come on, y'all go. Snead is like, you need to grade on professionalism, and Les is getting ready to run into a brick wall. You'll hear that crash all across the planet. So, how about looking ahead, not just today? Because everybody knows the Rams are planning for today. They don't give a damn about tomorrow. So, but let me stop. Pop, what do you think about the rankings as far as GMs go? Does John deserve to be at number 11?
You know what? First of all, I'm not going to put too much into it. Overall, John Lynch is our boy. He's our guy. So as far as I'm concerned, he's number 1. Now, obviously, he's made some mistakes, but you got to understand, too, he's a first-time GM with no scouting experience whatsoever. So, I think that you got to kind of put John Lynch there. I can see why you put him at 11, because you got to consider a lot of different things. But, I mean, I looked at a list just the other day. He was number 9. So... I mean, obviously,
this is NBC.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, keep in mind now. Let's just be real here. We had, one of the best for a little bit, and then he turned to one of the worst. And Trent Baalke, we had Chip Kelly calling shots. It's been a crazy little ride, for Niner fans because of stability. But what I like about John, he's obviously intelligent. He obviously handles the media very well. He obviously handles his players very well. I don't think that if John Lynch was general manager of the Packers, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers would have been, playing his little games and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, no. None of this madness.
Or same thing with Deshaun Watson. I think if he was GM for the Texans, I think Deshaun Watson been off the team already. So, he seems to be very principled, very principled. He's a leader. He's an NFL Hall of Famer. And I think that he's kind of like the id to Kyle Shanahan's super ego. And that, he has to manage that. So, I think if the Niners were where we thought they were going to be after the Super Bowl, we're always in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Obviously, he'd be a lot higher. Yeah. But that's just the reality of the game of football. But that's my 2 cents. I don't have a problem with it. But like I say, to me, he's number 1. I think him and Kyle Shanahan do make a good duo. They make a good fit. not because they think alike, but because I think they think differently. But I also think that there seems to be a paradigm shift. I think that when you have a super ego like Kyle Shanahan, I think you have to nurture it. You have to manage it. You have to control it without controlling it. And I think that he does a good job of kind of, letting Kyle Shanahan do his thing, but at the same time getting Kyle Shanahan to choose the right way. And I think finally what you're starting to see with the 49ers is just a paradigm shift. The lack of them looking at injured players, the way they drafted this year was like very surprising how they drafted this. To me, it was because they drafted very similarly to how I would have drafted, where I would have went for secondary players. I would have went for offensive linemen. I was shocked with the running backs. That was a paradigm shift. Usually, they're getting undrafted guys, and they pick up two running backs this year. Yep. So yeah. So really surprised, in my opinion, that I think they still got some players that they gotta. I think they made some contractual mistakes. I think that hurts him. I think
really
like the number.
Spotlight
it's contractual.
Yeah. Which contracts did you unfavorable with you?
Well, there's 3 right now. One is Jimmy G. If I'm not mistaken, Jimmy G, if he gets hurt, I think next year is also. I think there's like a guarantee in his contract of somewhere around $50 million.
As long as you just got to drop. No, hurt is another story. I was gonna say before a certain date.
Yeah, injury. I mean, there's something about his contract that can go against him very quickly. Another one was D4's. D4's contract was very similar, where it's like there was like some injury clauses in there. It's almost like they worded it because they believed in him that he wasn't going to get hurt, and then he got hurt, which was his history. And then luckily for us, John Lynch was able to get D4 to restructure. And the big one is Armstead, who the jury's still out on because he's due to make $20 million this year and 20-something million next year. So he's getting paid at the top of the league, but he's at the bottom of in regards to production. But at the same time, they're playing him out of position. So those 3 contacts worry me quite a bit overall. I always thought Juice got paid too much money for how they're using him. I'm not saying the man's not worth it. What I'm saying is for how they use him.
More to do than what he's doing, right?
Yeah, because right now he's their highest paid running back moving forward right now, but he's a fullback, and he's only getting like 35% of the snaps. So I think there's some criticisms there. And then again, they had in the last 4 years they've missed so often in the first round. 50% is understandable, but they're not even at 50%. I mean, they're making some horrible decisions. In the first round.
Let's speak of that though, because you last year you look at this season. Okay, this is probably the one that's going to rank highest in most books when you pick up Trey Lance at number 3. But you look at the year before and they pick up Kinlaw and Ayuk. That's back-to-back years of pretty solid drafting. Nick Bosa the year before. I think the year that stands out, the first round pick, the year that stands out is 2017. And then Mike McGlinchey's year in 2018. That was questionable, but you can't get real mad at it because it made sense. We needed an offensive lineman. He's out of Notre Dame. We want to run the football. It seems like everything was calculated in a way where you could see they were applying the right thought processes toward what they were doing. And then the players have to come in, and it's like anything else with the draft. It's always a shot in the dark. Hopefully it works out, but you know how that goes, right?
No, without a doubt. I think without a doubt. But like I said, this year, I actually saw a paradigm shift. I saw them really, like this year when it's in the draft alone. Most of their players had like a health rate of like 97% healthy out of the players they were drafting. So there's definitely, like I said,
question on that. Did they have a way to measure whether a player's his durability or not? Is that what you're alluding to?
Yeah. No, that's measurable. That is measurable because you look at how many snaps played, how many snaps.
Oh, yeah, you could go that route. Yeah.
Right. Because like the only player that had any kind of an injury history was Hufanga. He was the only one. He was the
That's a
only guy. But
stat.
if you look, right, but if
Never
you looked
played
at how he was
indoors.
playing, and then you looked how he was and look who's mentoring him moving into the NFL, it's like I said, when I did the simulations, he was going a lot. He was going a lot earlier. So I thought he was a good value in the 5th round. And we've done well in the 5th round. So it hasn't
Every
been
year.
all bad.
Yeah.
Right. It hasn't been all good, but everything's measured up in wins and mistakes. And it really took Kyle too long to decide on a quarterback. And I really do believe that Jimmy G surprised him and came along. And I don't blame him from going that route. But I think there's just too much love for Kyle has so much love for Kirk Cousins. He constantly praising him and stuff like that. It took him too long to go after a quarterback, but he should have did that like right away, or he reached like they reached for Beathard. They took him in the 3rd round. So it's like I'm being critical of the mistakes.
They drafted
right.
up.
I'm being critical. Right. I'm being critical of the mistakes, but what I'm really trying to say is that to me, for him to be a number 9, like I got him, there's some number 9 on the list of NFL.com.
Yeah.
But for him to be at 11 with technically a losing record actually does say something. That actually is it's a positive outlook from the league if you look at it that way. It's not a smack in the face. They were so close to winning the Super Bowl.
And they're probably looking at the fact that 49ers, their injuries, you can't have all your frontline players laying up on the booth. Because no matter what else, the GM, that's not his fault. I mean, well, but
no, it's not his fault.
Yeah. So.
Right, and then what I'm seeing too, I know we're running out of time, but I'm gonna let you go. But because it says here, like for example, best pick George Kittle, worst pick Reuben Foster.
Oh wait,
and honestly,
I've said that Solomon Thomas was not the worst pick. I blamed Reuben. Somebody else says that too. Good, Reuben.
Yeah, no, someone else has said somebody agrees with you. So, like I said, I think it's definitely a yin yang. But as far as like carrying a team, representing a team, handling the coach, especially a coach like Shanahan, and he handles him without being disparaging, and he handles him with respect, handles the press with respect. I'm proud that he's our GM.
Does a great job.
I really am. I think he does a great job, and I think that if they keep those two guys together, and I think if they continue to adapt, I think there's some Super Bowls coming this way.
Hey,
I really do.
It's just the road is rough right now. It's getting ready to smooth out. You can feel it. It should have started smoothing. It should have been smoothed out last year. COVID.
And no one can doubt the depth. No one can doubt the depth.
Ever.
Like Rob, we got defensive back depth. If we can get that run, if we get the offensive line straight, there'll be depth there. So
we'll be right there.
We're doing all right.
We're going to see you Wednesday, and after those reports come in and hash those over. All right, Bob.
Yep.
Have a great night, fam.
All right, man. Later. Good morning.
Good morning. That's right. There he goes, Papa D. And before it gets too late, I'm going to wrap up things up here. Let's go check out. Is Ellis ready?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Ellis. The subject matter tonight, man. I'm in here complaining about John Lynch at number 11. But you know what? After going through this couple hours as we've been doing here, it's understandable. I see it. I still want them in the top 10 because, of course, we're 49er fans, and we want our guys to be ranked above everybody else, whether they deserve it or not. People don't call me Homer for nothing. I embrace that moniker with red and gold grip. But John Ellis, John Lynch at number 11, Belichick at number 1. There's a lot of Andy Reid and all the winners are ranked at the top. But I wonder if they would have had to start out like John with nothing but a canvas with nothing on it. Could they have still painted the same picture in the amount of time that John Lynch has? I just do wonder about that. But what are you thinking?
I love the fact that we had John Lynch because I know we all talk. Well, a lot of us that watch John Lynch play, we just having him a part of our organization. I just felt like was good. Was just a really good, choice, and overall, I felt a turnaround was coming, for the good. It's been, we can talk about the draft picks and the things that maybe haven't been the best. It's a hit and miss. That's kind of how it goes. And, you're not going to be perfect on every occasion when it comes to making a selection. But I feel like John Lynch is, with confidence, assured that he wants to, bring a winning organization back to its front, back to the forefront here. You know what I mean? And he's done that, man. I know it's been shaky, but it's mainly been injury riddled, seasons and situations that have, prohibited us from being able to, have that consistency that we look for, and maybe, of course, the NFL and all the critics look for. But rising to the occasion and us still being able to maintain success and have, even last year, with only 6 wins, we still had a top-ranked defense. We still had a lot of things that we did exceptionally well. And that, like I said, I don't think there's any team in the NFL that could have even pulled off 6 wins last year. And we should have had 9 or 10. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But I'm just saying, with all of what it was that we were missing, if you take the same amount of players, you put the same amount of people on injury reserve, you put the same amount of people out for each and every game that we had all these guys in groups, that were not present. I mean, shit, they're forfeiting the season. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You're going to be it's going to be looking like, Pee Wee versus the NFL. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what their teams would look like. So I just, I have a whole lot more confidence in what we've done, and I feel a lot better, even considering the ups and downs, that we still, have, a general manager that's willing to, even if he has become a bit fidgety as of late, because it's been a bit nerving. I mean, his position is a very serious one, and he has a lot of responsibility. So, John's been kind of put, in the spotlight a little bit, and not always in the positive light because of just different things that's going on. They're looking for somebody to place blame on. And I feel bad because at the end of the day, I know, John Lynch's intentions are genuine, and he's been a very, he's been a very good guy this entire time, man. It's kind of crazy. And seeing him and Kyle sometimes maybe not say the same things together, it's entertaining, but it's kind of like, damn, are things kind of going left? So he's deserved of the accolade. Go ahead.
Now, let me ask you this question too, though, because here's the thing. Show brought up something that I continually forget about, that Kyle made that statement during the Flying Coach podcast, right? He says that I didn't go after John Lynch. I don't know what compelled Kyle to even say that, but he says, John Lynch came to me. I don't know that Kyle was. Who else would he have chosen, do you think, that would have been every bit as capable to do some of the things that Papa Dragon just talked about? Because John came in like always the adult in the room and able to make sure that the youngster stays keeps his feet on the ground. I kind of, when he brought that up, I realized, John Lynch does not fight Kyle. You can tell there's no rift going between them like people tried to create a couple of years ago. I remember that Bleacher Report guy tried to say John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan were at odds about something. Well, they can have discussions. It doesn't mean they're at odds with each other. But I think they work well together. I think the chemistry's developed. I don't know what compelled Kyle to say, I didn't go after John Lynch. My father was afraid. Well, why are you saying that, Kyle? You're saying the things these days, I'm not sure. Where's that coming from? Is it frustration because you've only had one season? I don't understand. But what did you make of that? Because I'm hoping that relationship stays solid, because it looks like it's good for them and definitely good for us as we sit there and watch them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of, it just seems a little weird. If there is no tension and there is no issue, then, Kyle saying things like that, and then them even in the interviews, I know, their joint, things that they do together, publicly and stuff like that. Just, it seems like the flow has kind of not been as, smooth as I mean, I'm trying to, it hasn't seemed as settled and as, it's definitely not the introduction John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Let's say that, with Kyle being, he's just a little over the top, man, and kind of arrogant. And I think people try to peck at him and he gets mad. And I know he's tried to, maybe control himself a little bit, but he shows his cards a little bit too, in the midst of maybe, not showing his cards sometimes. And, John Lynch doesn't, he doesn't deserve to be the fall guy because, at the end of the day, if we really got the full breakdown on who made all the selections, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't just be all John Lynch that made all the choices with the players that we got.
I pointed that out earlier. I agree. So that's what I'm saying. How you going to do? I'm Jed York. Okay, guys, well, decision time. I don't want to make this decision, but the record is what it is. Guys, I've got to move on. And, it's some of these things. Now, am I firing both of them? Because the rumors are that Kyle is calling the shots. That's going to be, we're going to run out of time, Ellis. That is a discussion we need to have one day. Who's in charge in Santa Clara?
And if I'm being honest, it would seem like Kyle's a little more in the driver's seat than John, and John is kind of he's just facilitating a lot of things, and then trying to also give his allow him to maybe have some opinion and have some say in different things. But yeah, it seems like it's a lot of Kyle, and I just somebody's gonna. I'll tell you what. Now, hypothetically, if we were to have a terrible season, I'm pretty sure that John Lynch is going to be on the hot seat. I don't think that they would get rid of both of them, but Kyle would then his window would be closing as well. Yeah. So he would have probably another season if he was lucky. Maybe two, and then that would be it.
Yeah, as long as Trey Lance delivers, because they went up and got that pick. He's got to deliver.
Yeah.
The pressure on Lance next year is going to be phenomenal because that pressure's on him and Kyle. Especially if Jimmy has a good year, we cannot fall down in 2022. If we go 14-2 next year, the expectation is going to be, hey, the lowest you guys go is 12-4, or somebody's gonna be in trouble. It's the dominoes are setting up. It's gonna be tough. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Ellis, I'm gonna see you Wednesday after practice, and we'll see what's going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Ronbo. Right, thank you, the production. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe. Shout out to the chat, all the Niners, all of the good guys from the other teams.
Not Seahawks Rain. Don't say nothing to him. But everybody else.
Oh, okay, yeah, not Seahawks Rain, but the other Seahawk guy.
Other Seahawks fan five.
Space Hawk. Yeah, yes. He's a good guy. Okay, thank you, Brother Ronbo, man. Peace and love, and to the next episode, fam.
Hey, looking forward. Night, Ellis. See, I love Ellis. Ellis is doing his grocery shopping, auto checkout, still getting in here and giving us some. Hey, and Mr. Black Eye says, I don't care about no stupid GM rankings. Kyle and John owe us to get back to the SB. Last year was an injury colony, but this year is winning at any cost. Yes! Steven.
Ronbo, how you doing tonight?
Steven doing great, man. It's football time. It's really football time now. No more fooling around. We're really, really getting ready to get this thing underway. And Wednesday, we're going to find out. Steven, listen, I got to tell you this and everybody else. Listen, I'm not superstitious, but I am scared. Pray, Steven. No matter what religion, even atheists, pray. Please help us on this. We don't want no injuries. No injuries in practice like that.
You're telling me, Ronbo. I mean, we're looking at an injury-prone team. A team coming off of injuries.
And, Steven, have you seen the injuries going on around the NFL? People are dropping like flies.
Easily. And I think there's something going on because it's not just us anymore. No, it's a lot of players, a lot of key players too.
Yes.
A lot of key players and a lot of people's offense and defense are going down. But I will say this. I got to see Santa Clara for the first time in a couple of years on Saturday.
All right.
Picked up my Nick Bosa jersey with the 75th anniversary
you talked about that. That's right. before you went. That's right. All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That was a mission. Thank you. It was a mission. It was a big mission because not only did we stop at Santa Clara, but we went all the way to Monterey for my lady's birthday.
Hey, too bad you guys couldn't get down through the Napa Valley and go through that wine country tour, man. Oh, God, that's
I tried to convince her. But she's not very much of a wine person, so.
You know what, though?
She's from SF. So
okay.
She wants her seafood. Yeah.
Yeah. God, it's such a thing. You got to get in a limo, and because you don't want to drink and drive, and just have that turns into such a fiasco. They're still looking for some of my friends and myself, probably now, behind something that happened like 10 years ago. We went buck wild. But that's what you're supposed to do when you go down there. God.
Yeah.
Anyway, Stephen, enough of that, though. Well, give me some feeling about John Lynch as your GM, ranked out of the top 10 by NBC Sports.
I'll be real with you. I side with John Lynch more than I could side with Kyle Shanahan. And I'll say this for the specific reason of John Lynch came to this organization with nothing, like literally the worst team he could have had. Somehow managed to flip it around. Now we're on the winning side. He got Kyle Shanahan. But now Kyle Shanahan's in the front seat taking the driver, taking the wheel. He's been taking the wheel for the past, since the time John Lynch had hired him.
No, actually, Kyle actually picked John Lynch. Remember, Kyle was hired
really?
First, and then Jed told him because they didn't want the Trent Baalke situation anymore. Now you go ahead. I'm going to leave it to you to find a GM that you think that you'll be happy with, because Jed had just got sick of Trent Baalke fighting with everybody he hired as a coach. So he said, Kyle, I'll tell you what, you be the choice of your GM. That's where that happened. But you know what? Hopefully that's not going to affect what you're going to say next too much, though. Go ahead, continue.
No, I think it's just, if anyone should be on the chopping block, Ronbo, it shouldn't be John Lynch. I think it should be Kyle Shanahan, because he has everything to win now. There should be no reason why he shouldn't have a winning record at this point. It
was that way last year.
Like, remember during the whole draft talk, John Lynch wanted one pick, Kyle Shanahan wanted another.
Okay,
John Lynch sided with Kyle and said, I want this.
Where do you, those reports, though, do you believe them? I don't know that some of the things, because we don't leak things in Santa Clara, right? I'm trying to understand, when they say these things, is that reporters saying these things, or do they have actual intelligence on that? I just don't. You're always trying to say that Lynch wanted this, Kyle wanted that. I always wonder, what do you. Yeah.
I'll say this. Jimmy Ward said it best. I didn't say it. The coaches didn't say it. The training staff didn't say it. So someone leaked it. I'm not going to say who, but someone leaked it above them. So it might have been the front office. Will we know for sure? Hell no. But it makes the most sense. Yeah. Because how do you bring up an article that keeps the team being talked about? How do you keep your name in someone's mouth? Cause a little controversy. Who's going to do it?
Steve, when's the last time you remember a week going by when the 49ers weren't making news? That's what I was saying earlier. You look at the other teams around the NFL. Nobody talks about the Saints. Nobody talks about the Giants or the Jets. Who talks about the Dolphins? Chargers.
Nobody.
The Rams get talked about sometimes. But, the Hawks get talked about sometimes because they got a controversy going over there now. So, the 49ers were always in the news, even when it's quiet or rolling hard. Even Aaron Rodgers couldn't quiet the news this past season on the 49ers. Even Watson over in Texas. It's just always. And people say, Ronbo, man, you and that victim mentality. No, we're not. I'm just saying, even the Super Bowl when the referees would not act right, we just can't. God.
We just can't. We can't. But when I was Santa Clara, I did spot two wild players, a wild Kinlaw and a wild Ward. Okay,
you saw them?
So I was like, I saw them like walking in, and I was like, I didn't realize how big Javon Kinlaw was.
I was going to ask you about that
until I actually saw him in person. We're looking at a dude
giant
who like dwarfs Nick Bosa inside. We're talking like this dude looks like a damn. I'm surprised he was able to get out of his car. I'll say it like that. That dude is huge.
I bet he has his car tailored. I bet they had to make some adjustments in whatever car he's driving. Cause come on, man, the dude is huge.
He's hella huge. Like if you ever seen the movie The Incredibles, Mr. Incredible inside his normal car, that's how I felt like Javon Kinlaw felt like in that car. But you know what? I'll say this, man. I'm a keep good faith in my team. You know, I feel like we should be able to do it this year. We're coming back off of our injury-riddled season. We have an easy schedule, but you know what? Like I said it previous times again, the 49ers always do bad against really bad teams for some reason. I don't know why. The Cardinals is always a thorn in our side, but when the team is focused and are on the same page, you're not trying to outplay themselves, they do great. Our biggest division rival, we don't even have to worry about Green Bay anymore. We could just go ahead and write them off. But our biggest division rival from right now is the Buccaneers. Yeah. Without a doubt, the Buccaneers. And I don't know how we're going to handle Tom Brady and that offense. I don't know how their defense is going to stack up to our offense. If we see them in the championship, Ronbo, and Jimmy G is still there and he's doing good, we are looking at something that is is almost at the equal apex of when Joe Montana and Steve Young played against each other.
It's going to be a huge audience on that game. Yeah, because, you got all the New England paying attention because from last I heard, they still love Jimmy. And then you got all of us, and then you got all the Tampa Bay and the 40. We got a lot of haters, Stephen. People hate Texas boys in here talking trash. You got Larry Hoover. You got people that represent millions that hate on the 49ers. Boy, everybody wants to see the 49ers get beat.
Man, Texas boy talks about Jerry Jones saying that they're going to beat the 49ers. Jerry Jones is past his time. Talk about being delusional. My man, Jerry Jones has been saying that for years, bro. The fact that he keeps talking about Jerry Jones this, Jerry Jones that, the Cowboys doing this, Cowboys doing that, my guy, y'all ain't doing nothing, all right? Y'all ain't doing nothing.
And that's already been proven year after year. I can't wait. The Cowboys go in every year, and they're already ranked as having one of the top offenses in the NFL. Okay. You guys said that about them last year and the year before, too. And you had the greatest offensive line. In fact, Stephen, I have to give the Cowboys credit. That was one of the greatest offensive lines I have ever witnessed in my life. I mean, it was bad. I mean, Washington, back in the day when they were the Washington Skins, they had the Hogs out in front. Well, now, the Cowboys, I don't know what that was, but Dak and Zeke, both of them are rookies, just tore the league up, right? Because it wasn't because of them especially.
I'll give them that.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
Line.
They did tear the league up.
That offensive line. Oh, they were good.
But I'll say this. Remember when they played against the Seahawks, not the Seahawks, the Eagles? Yeah. What was it? Yeah, that was the most boring game I had ever seen in my entire life. Eagles had nobody, Ronbo. And I watched that game and I fell asleep. Like, nobody wanted to win. It was just as bad as when the Rams went to the Super Bowl. Ain't nobody wanted to see that game happen. Like, Texas boy, none of your teams is good, bro. Houston ain't good. The Cowboys ain't good. You're done. Your teams are done, bro. Go home. Go take a nap. Take a knee.
Steve, we're going to go. Steve, I'll be looking for you Wednesday. We'll get some of these reports.
I'll be here.
We're going to see what happens with 49ers looking next week. Just as I said, keep your fingers crossed. We're not getting any injuries this week.
Trey's going to get signed. Well, Trey Lance is going to get signed. If he hasn't signed already, because we already signed Ambry Thomas. We signed him today, from what I saw. So we signed Ambry Thomas.
He's got. So, what was that? Tony Nagatani pointed out, well, this is all for dramatic effect. Last week we talked about...
easily.
We talked about Fred Warner, of course. He captured the news as being the premier linebacker in the league. And now they're going to wait until 15 minutes before practice. And finally, the 49ers have wrapped up a deal. Trey Lance is signed. I said, you know what? Tony was right. This is all for dramatic effect. Okay. Good.
It's all a PR move.
Yeah.
It's all a PR move.
Steven,
but you know what isn't?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Us dominating our division. That ain't a PR move.
Yeah. It keeps us in the news because we love being in the news. All right, fam. I'll see you Wednesday.
All right, take care.
You too.
Have a good night.
Night, Steven. Yeah, so it's well, fam, that's it. I'll see you Wednesday, and we're on. It's here. 2021 has arrived. Thanks for the contributions, fam. I can't wait to see you. Did we do this here? I don't remember that. We did though, huh? Okay. Fam, thanks for the contributions. I can't wait to see you Wednesday. Just have a wonderful evening. What's left of it. God, I